The Jets continue to hold the line on the offensive line. We'll talk about a new contract for a hog molly. And the Knicks are world champions after 53 years. Indeed, the Manchild will sip champagne today on the show. The Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital live on a Monday starts right now.
Let's go! It's time for the talk to you. Cause when Joe is born, it's always coming through. And all green is always on the sea. And what they're always bringing to the live streaming. So get ready, ready. Get ready, cause here they come.
All right, welcome aboard, everybody. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital at MC Show Digital. We are presented by Northeast Roofing Professionals, NERPCNY.com. Right above us, fabulous roofers here in Central New York, especially if you live in Fayetteville or DeWitt. Please go to their website, give them a call today. And even if you're in the greater Central New York area, worth the call because our friends do superb work. NERPCNY.com. Today's video brought to you by our friends at Box Drop Syracuse, the mattress and sofa outlet, where you could save 30 to 70%, even 35 to 75%. You're a first responder, a teacher, military, retired, or active military. Think about that. 35 to 75% off. Boy Green just got himself a whopper of a mattress, a king size. He's basking in the glow. He's sleeping like this now with his arms out. He thinks he's like Jack from Titanic or something. Anyway, so go see our friends at Box Drop today. Box Drop Syracuse, the mattress and sofa outlet. All right, don't forget to bang the subscribe button on the way in. We are closing in, and we're roughly 60 subscribers away from getting to 1,000.
We are 58 away.
58. We need you. What did Uncle Sam say? I want you, right? Uncle Sam. Remember Apollo Creed dressed up as Uncle Sam in one of the Rocky movies? Yes. I want you. I want you. I think that was the original Rocky. He was pointing at Rocky Balboa before the fight, and he was all dressed up in a, like a George Washington, Uncle Sam kind of deal. And he was screaming at Rocky. So anyway, see, I hurt my voice by doing that. I like frogged myself. Hold on a second.
Yep.
Much better now. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I'll get it
I
up
remember
for
that,
you.
So we need you to subscribe to our channel.
I want
to
you
get us
for
to
the
1,000.
U.S. Army.
So
yes.
help tilt us. I think what I'm going to do is whoever our 1,000th subscriber is, the person that gets us over the top, I'm going to give him something. I got to decide what it is. It'll be something cool, something really cool for our 1,000 subscribers. We got to get there first. We got to get closer. Of course, and we need your help. Tell your friends, tell your family, spread the word about the Manchild. There it is. I want you. It used to be an Army recruitment poster, and there is indeed Uncle Sam. See if you can find the Apollo Creed picture of him as Uncle Sam. Apollo Creed as either George Washington or Uncle Sam. I think he was doing Uncle Sam. Is who he was trying to do. He looked a little like George Washington. But anyway, speaking of George Washington, I just saw him on a statue in the Boston, the Public Gardens in Boston. Beautiful George Washington statue that's right at one of the main entrances. He's up on his big horse. Very, very beautiful statue. A lot of people think that's Paul Revere, and then you walk over to the statue and you find out, oh, it's George Washington. Oh yeah, he had something to do with this whole revolution, winning the revolution thing too. Our first president, George Washington. All right. Anyway, welcome aboard, everybody. Happy Monday, and what a glorious Monday it is for all of us Knick fans. We are in celebration mode. The parade will be on Thursday.
It is Uncle Sam, by the way.
There we go. There's the Apollo Creed trying to play his best.
It's a great-looking Uncle Sam, by the way. Great shape.
Yeah. Apollo was, he was buff, man. Carl Weathers was buff for the Rocky movies. He really looked like a boxer. He could have been the heavyweight champion of the world, But anyway, I digress. No, glorious day for Knick fans, and the ticker tape parade through the Canyon of Heroes will be on Thursday. So anyone wanting to get down to New York City and see the parade, it will be on Thursday, and then they will have the giving of the keys to the city will be handed over to the Knicks on the steps of City Hall. So that's the way most of these cities do it, whether it's New York or any place else. You do the parade, you wind through, you end up on the steps of City Hall, and then the mayor comes out there and hands you the keys to the city and declares it New York Knicks Day or something along those lines.
I appreciate you explaining that because it's been, 53 years since I've seen it. So, I wasn't really sure how the process worked.
Personally, and probably those keys for the Knicks would be like skeleton keys because it's been so long, as you said, since we've, does that even open the front gate of the mayor's mansion there? I don't know if those keys actually do anything, but it's still kind of a cool honorary tradition, dare I say. But glorious for us Knicks fans. So we will, a little bit later in the show, talk about the Knicks. And of course, as promised, folks, We have told the story, okay? But we will be popping the bubbly. Here's the champagne glass.
Wow, that's a beautiful glass.
Here's what we're going to do, BG. Here's how we're going to do this, okay?
Please.
So you see I have the champagne glass here.
I do. Very nice.
If you bring me up full screen, yeah, you can kind of see it.
Please,
you can see the champagne. It's sitting right here.
It's hard to see with your name, but
tilt down here.
There we go.
There. Champagne, as they say, is on ice, my friends, okay? On ice is the champagne. So here it is. Lovely,
I can see it's ice cold. You can see the condensation on it. Very nice. Okay.
Bad thing is it's about 57 degrees outside in Syracuse. I thought we were in the middle of June. I've just experienced 3 straight 90-degree days on my tour of Boston with my lovely who had never been there before. Right. And we come back here, and today it's 57. Now, there is one real benefit. I think it's going to go up to a whopping 62. There is one real benefit to that, and that is you get back from vacation, BG, and what happens? The lawn's about a foot high, right?
Yes.
So the reason I was a little late getting to our little pre-production meeting here this morning is because I was out mowing the lawn. I figured I got to get this thing done. When am I going to do it? And it was nice and cool out. I said, let me get it done now in the morning, nice and cool. So the lawn is mowed.
That was a good benefit.
My neighbors are happy. I'm happy. Yeah. All right. The dog will be happy. He can scamper through the grass without like it being lost in the grass. You know how little Mookie is.
Sure.
So, he could get lost in the high grass. So we don't want to send him out there and be like, where's Mookie? All right. So he'll be fine. So, so I got out and mowed the grass as well this morning. But it is a glorious week for us Knick fans. And we'll get to celebrate it again and again and again. We've posted many videos. If you hadn't had a chance to go over and look at our shorts on our channel, folks, please go over and check them out. I had collected a couple of videos from New York City. My son Isaiah was actually in the village. He was in the East Village, literally sitting on a curb, looking at a television through a window, which they had taken the television, flipped it around, and showed it to the people outside. It started, it was him, his cousin, and they brought a friend with them, and there were probably about 10 other people, and this was about 2 hours before the game that they were looking for a spot, maybe try to find one of those big watch parties, but everything was all craziness, and then they just found this spot, and they were like, there's a TV right there. The guy had the sound on outside. He said, my son said you could hear the sound perfectly, and there was a nice little kind of high curb there. So him and the two buddies sit down on the curb. Next thing you know, 10 people there, 20 people. By the time it ends, there's probably 150 to 250 people surrounding this storefront, okay, looking at this one television with a speaker, and now everybody's become buddies, okay? And I told my son, please make sure you shoot the glory if they win. Please shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. And he shot me a couple of videos. You'll see a fire engine video when the fire engine goes, runs through the crowd. You get just people just,
I saw that one actually.
So there's some good videos there. So go check them out in our shorts. The Splendors of Victory. I'm sorry I couldn't be there, folks. I would have been probably in that fray, but I had promised my wife that I was going to go to Boston for the first time with her and do a tour of Boston. I did not know the series was going to end on that night. If I just get one more game, I'm back, I'm fine. I'm probably down in New York doing the whole thing. But instead, I'm up in Boston. So I go to this this Irish pub, I should say, where there were 90% Scots in the building. And I had to fight the bartender to just get one television to put the Knicks game on.
Really?
Because they're celebrating World Cup fever up there. And the Scots are lining the bars, especially those that didn't go to the game. And, you can't go to the game. What do? Go to a watch party.
Yeah,
so they go to this Irish pub, and the bar is filled with Scots. And then it's me, Brett LaBelle, and my wife, right? So, and I'll post some of the pictures. I did obviously, as you know, BG, I sent you a special video, but I didn't put that on the channel. But Brett LaBelle and I did get together for a couple hours. It was really, really a lot of fun. And it was just great to meet him in person. He's exactly the same in person as he is, on the screen with us.
That's
really,
cool to
really
hear.
Exactly. Very genuine person, very nice, generous person. So I really enjoyed meeting Brett, and hopefully there'll be many, many more meets in the future. But that was really, really cool. And I was asking him, like, what have you been up to on cop duty? Because he told us he was Mr. World Cup, and he's been doing motorcycle copping. So I saw some motorcycle cops at one point when I was in the downtown area. It's like, wouldn't that be really cool? I'm just saying this to my wife. Wouldn't that be really, really cool if Brett were a motorcycle cop? You got the dark sunglasses and the helmets and got all the leather on.
That's true.
It was 90 degrees. I was like, I felt bad for those cops, but I was like, still, that's a pretty cool job. And then I asked him, he's like, yeah, I'm the head of the motorcycle guys. Like, he's like the head guy of the motorcycle guys.
Pretty cool.
There. So he's like, I guess he gets to decide some things. So he said, yeah, but it's a little hot in those unis. I said, well, hot, but cool, Brett. Look at how cool you look. With the shades on and the helmet. You look cool. So he's Joe Cool out there. So That was cool. And just another quickie here before we get into our topic A here, picking up little trinkets, of course. So you can see this one.
Oh, Cheers, of course.
Boston,
I've been to that Cheers restaurant.
Very
nice.
Shot glass in the form of a Cheers mug.
That's creative.
I got to throw down a few, BG. If ever,
Is that how you're going to be spooning the champagne to yourself?
No. As you saw, I have a proper champagne glass.
Yes. Okay.
What color is this? I want to say this is green, but is it brown?
No.
What is it?
It's I don't know if I would say gold, but it's sort of more. Although there is a weird, as you spin the glass, some sides of it appear to have a brownish.
Brownish. All right, so maybe more brown than green. I'm colorblind. I thought they were green. I was going to say, I've got this green champagne glass in your honor, and then I'm like, it's probably not green. I better not say that. People
it's gold
think,
brown.
What are you talking about? It's a brownish gold. It isn't green.
Yeah.
The colorblind kid strikes again. Sorry. I do my best.
That's all right. So beautiful.
Some people are typing caramel. It's caramel colored.
There you go.
Thank you, T-Town Jet, for chiming in there. Caramel colored.
Yeah, sure.
But that is indeed a proper champagne glass. So I will
very fancy.
I'll put up my pinky for you as I drink it, Boy Green.
Nice.
All right.
Excellent.
So we will do. So this is the way we're going to do it. I'm going to do champagne pop. I'll pop the bottle live on air. I will show you because I took a wine appreciation class when I was at Syracuse University, Boy Green. So look out. Right. And later on, after that, I briefly worked in a French restaurant. Okay. Yes, the man-child was once a waiter, I've
never heard that story.
And in this fancy restaurant that I worked in as a waiter, it was tuxedos every day. So I had to have a tux. I had to buy my own tux and try to keep it as clean as possible. I didn't buy a really expensive one because I knew I was going to get it dirty.
Yeah, right.
But I had to wear tux to work every day. I only did that job maybe about 6 months, but I learned how to flambe, throw the
with the alcohol and the flame. Oh yeah.
I was scared the first couple of times I did that. I was like, I'm gonna light these customers on fire, man. This ain't gonna be good. So they're trying to teach me in the back how to do it. And then they finally said, all right, today's the day, pal. Flambe. All right, we got a flambe for you. Get out there. I'm like, oh, God, oh, no. I'm going to light them on fire. But it was cool. And then once I kind of got the hang of it, then it was pretty cool. Everybody would be so impressed. The customers would be so impressed. Yeah, what do you think, man? Throw a little alcohol and create a fire. It was pretty cool. But anyway, when I did that, what was the point of that story? There was a point. I was going somewhere with that. And I think I just lost it. So, all right. I was once a waiter in a French restaurant, and I can't remember why.
Oh, for the champagne pouring and however you're going to do it.
Thank you. Brought me back to center. See, I always need to be brought back to center. I'm sorry, folks. I get off on the tentacles sometimes. Boy Green is always good at saying, no, you're talking about this. Okay, yes. And yes, I will show everyone in the audience today how to properly open a champagne bottle. Completely safe this way. All right. And I will show you how to do it. Though I learned in a French restaurant and in my wine appreciation class how to properly open a champagne bottle, and we will attempt to execute that. I haven't done it in quite some time. We will attempt to do that today on the show. So I will sip the bubbly towards the end of the show today. All right. And then afterwards, Boy Green, after we go off the air, that's when I'm going to go outside, fully equipped here, goggles, inner ready. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll wear the shirt I got in Boston here. Get this thing dirtied up. This is a Boston shirt.
Okay. All right. There you go.
I got this for Brett. I thought I would see Brett in the bar. Yeah, you thinking I'll get a Boston shirt or something?
Cool. Boston Police.
They got really cool Boston Police shirts. I'll wear this to my meet with Brett, and he got a big kick of it. And then as I found out, there were 4 or 5 other cops in the bar. Of course, cops, right?
Yeah,
Boston
I guess
cops.
that's
You think
true.
you'd
They
find
could be anywhere.
You go to an Irish pub somewhere in Boston, you might find a few cops. Yeah. A couple of random cops in there, and they were all coming up, to me because I'm wearing the Boston Police shirt, and they're like, "Hey," and I'm like, "No, not one of yours. I just did it for my buddy here."
Right.
They were all digging on it, man. They were all digging, and I was wearing the cop shirt. So there you go. So I have a lot of fun stories for Boston. Maybe we'll get into them as the week goes on. But I do want to get to today's topic A, and then we will later have some fun with the Knicks. I have some really impressive stats I want to roll out. But topic A, Joe Tippmann.
Whoa! Before we get to Joe Tippmann,
hold on. Go ahead. You play the sounder. I'll get the video. Let's rock and roll. Go ahead.
Here we go. Let's do this.
Hell yeah.
All right. What am I going to do for video? I have such a hard time picking.
Just have some conviction. Something, I don't know.
Something we haven't done in a while. All right. Okay, good.
I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll... I just got burgers.
Well, in Austrian, I don't know if you have any burgers, but you have 6 raffle tickets to enter our contest. So thank you so much, Austrian. Thank you for all the support. That's awesome. We will get into the topic du jour. I know all you crazy Jet fans want to hear that, but that membership out in the audience from our number 1 Austrian Jet fan went to Donovan Morgan. You're now a member to the 12th Manchild, which is a lot of fun prizes. Lurch, let them know what Donovan. They are.
Yeah, here we go, baby. Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston. Look at him stand. Look at him on the ground here, flat on the ground, baby. Great shot. Iconic photo. It's a tin poster. Very, very cool.
Yes.
So you can hang that in your man cave. We've got the 2. Oh, no, let me get the book first. Here. The Angelo Dundee Burt Sugar autograph book connected to the Ali picture.
Yeah,
My view from the corner.
There you go.
This is Angelo Dundee's book on what it was like to be Muhammad Ali's trainer. He used the greatest boxing writer in the history of boxing, Burt Randolph Sugar, to help him write the book. And the book has a foreword by Muhammad Ali. And the coolest part of it, it is autographed on the inside cover by both Angelo Dundee and Burt Sugar. So no Muhammad on there. That would be iconic.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But we do have Angelo Dundee and Burt Sugar on the cover. Beautiful, beautiful autographs in pristine condition. And then in honor of the U.S. Open, which is later this week, Boy Green, starts on Thursday down at Shinnecock on Long Island. We've got the 2 fabulous golf hats. First, this beautiful Cleveland white hat tag still on it, adjustable cap. All right, with the Cleveland logo, and then the lovely red and white Pro V1 Titleist, baby, with the mesh backing. Oh, baby, this puppy is fantastic. So those are all going out the door to one person, and it could be
a week from today, Lurch.
Austrian Jets
22
next Monday. So we got to get the little spinner ready.
Yep.
We'll see where it stands. But you can see, if you look at our scrolling ticker, it cycles through the prizes, and then you will actually see who stands where. So if you want to get a raffle ticket or 2 or 20 or 50, okay, you want to stack the deck, so to speak, as some have already done, you've got 7 days to do so, and then we will draw that winner. All right. And so the way to do that is, if you're not a member, become a member. Automatic 2 tickets. Gift a membership, 2 automatic tickets. Gift 5 memberships or more, 20 automatic tickets. We double it. Okay. It would be 10. I'm giving you 20. All right. And you can super chat, super sticker. Every super chat, super sticker worth $3 will give you a single raffle ticket. So $3, $6, $9, you get the gist of it. All right. So very cool ways to support the channel and to get in on this wonderful raffle. You're going to win all of those prizes, including that iconic Ali Liston medal poster. Very, very cool. So looking forward to sending that out to somebody at the end of the month. And we'll see who it will be. There is still time to get in our drawing. Okay, and support the channel. All right, BG, let's get to topic A. The Jets with the big contract announcement today, and there it is. Joe Tippmann, 4 years, $62 million, with $31 million in new money guarantees per a source. That's from Zach Rosenblatt, one of our old buddies who used to do radio with us forever and ever. Let me ask you this. You know me, BG. I am a huge fan of offensive lines. I believe in offensive lines and I believe in defensive lines, but offensive lines, maybe even more so. Having those hog mollies to protect your quarterback, to blow open holes for your running backs, to give time to the offense is what good offensive lines do. And I know when my Giants were winning championships regularly, all right, back in the 80s and 90, all right, that, that was the core thing. The Giants offensive line was so dominant, it gave them the opportunity, even if they were short in other areas, to get the job done. And what I really like about what your Jets have been doing in the last few years, and my Giants are attempting to do it too, but I think the Jets, in my opinion, are a little bit further along, I think, in their escapades, is put together a group that really, really could stay together for 5 to 7 years and do some damage. And Joe Tippmann is a big, big part of that. I really like his moxie. I've heard him interviewed many, many times. He's a really, really sharp guy. I think he represents the Jets very, very well. So how happy are you that Joe Tippmann got an extension here and they're kind of trying to hunker down, man, get these hog mollies together for the long term? That's the way you build that camaraderie, Boy Green. That's the way you build what the Knicks have become this year. You get them together, you keep them together, you stick them together. I think that's what the Jets are trying to do here.
That's absolutely true. I'm elated. Tippmann's 25 years old. He just turned 25 in March, so he's not going to turn 26 until next offseason. He only had 1 year left on his rookie contract. If you are drafted outside of the first round, if you're drafted anywhere from rounds 2 to rounds 7, you get a 4-year standard contract. After your third year is over, you're allowed to negotiate a contract extension with your team, which of course just happened for Tippmann this offseason. And I was begging the Jets for months, like, hey, be proactive, get on top of this. Let's keep to me, there's a young core of 3 on the Jets offensive line that I want to keep together, hopefully forever. That is Olu Muyiwa Fashanu, their left tackle. It is Armand Membu, their right tackle out of Missouri. And it is Joe Tippmann. These young cats are all 25 or younger, and most of them younger. Tippmann's the oldest of the group, but Olu's 23, Armand's 22. Like, man, this group is super young. And in a perfect world, they're together for the next decade. And the Jets have two other players that are slightly older, and we'll see. Well, one of them's just newer, Dylan Parham, who they signed this offseason. So I thought this was critically important. This was the biggest free agent the Jets are set to have next year. Outside of Geno Smith being an MVP candidate, Joe Tippmann would have been the highest priority free agent. I like that the Jets got on top of this, and sort of it works out for everybody here. This, for the quick math, and I made sure I double checked it because my math is always questionable. This is a $15.5 million per year average. That ranks 8th most among right guards in football, but 15th overall among any guards, regardless of left or right. So he's getting a middle of the road contract. He gets financial security, $31 million bucks, so he's covered financially. The Jets have a young offensive lineman under contract. He wanted to be here. The Jets wanted him. So Darren Butchie gets another feather in the cap of locking in. He locked in Breece Hall. He's locked in Garrett Wilson. He's locked in some players that aren't as big of name, Josh Myers, Jeremy Ruckert, other players on the roster. But to me, this was critically important. And it takes me back to that draft, Lurch. I don't remember what your perspective was on it, but during the 2023 NFL draft, the Jets needed a center, the Giants needed a center. From all the talking heads, the universally best center on the board was John Michael Schmitz. So when the Jets were on the clock with the 43rd overall pick, Jet fans were like, oh my God, John Michael Schmitz, he's right here. That's got to be the move. And the Jets surprise and take Joe Tippmann, the nickname of Wisconsin Waterfalls because of the mullet. And we were
took
like,
Schmitz and you took Tippmann.
That's right.
Boy, I'm not happy to hear that.
So
all right, finish your story, and then I got something big. Go ahead.
Okay. So we took Tippmann at 43rd overall. The Giants got him 14 picks later at 57th overall in the second round. But a lot of Jet fans were initially upset. They're like, whoa, you took Tippmann over Schmitz? What are you doing? Schmitz was the better player, is what Jet fans universally thought. Not everyone thought that, but it was the majority thought that was the case. And now you see Joe Tippmann just got this nice extension where he's going to be here for a while. He's actually playing guard right now as opposed to center, which is another part of the conversation we can have later. But John Michael Schmitz is, from all I've heard from outside Giants land, has struggled. There's been people questioning what's his future with the Giants and things in general.
So, myself included.
Yeah.
All right, let me play this.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
The tote board is heavy, Boy Green, and it's big, so I had to do the announcement.
Big,
Not a breaking news announcement in sports. This is
okay.
another 5 memberships. We are hot on PayPal and Venmo again at MC Show Digital. You can use that to get us T-Town Jets back in the house. Boy Green, play it. I'm going to give him an extended video here in just a second. Go ahead.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
All right, T-Town, this one's for you, my friend. Nicky Lamagino, a man of many, many costumes there in that little his take on Get Back, the Beatles song. That one goes to T-Town Jet. 5 memberships through Venmo / PayPal, Boy Green, where you can reach us at MC Show Digital. Avoid the middleman of YouTube and send the money directly to us that way, and it goes directly to the channel and to our resources. So T-Town Jet has learned that method, and man, he is killing it in this month's raffle board, Boy.
83 raffle tickets.
83 raffle tickets, man. Somebody better get on this, or T-Town's just going to walk away with this prize, man. It's going to be like, we're going to create the spinner on Monday, and it's going to be like 2/3 T-Town and then some other little specks on the other side. So T-Town taking everybody out to the woodshed here, but there's still a week to show up proud, show up strong. Maybe someone else is going to puff out their chest a little bit and say, hey, I want to have a little slice of that pie when we spin that wheel next Monday for those the Muhammad Ali poster, the book from Angelo Dundee and Bert Sugar, the hats. All right. Oh, and I forgot, I didn't even include this earlier, Boy Green. Don't forget the laser engraved pint glass, also part of the prize pack. I neglected that earlier. I have too many glasses on my. I got the Manchild Show Boy Green thing.
Sure.
I got the champagne glass today.
Yep.
I got my bottled water, and then I've got this is
a
so
lot
many
of props.
I mean, my God, thank God I have a big desk here that I could put all this stuff on. So my desk is a little busy today. So sorry, but the laser engraved glass also part of the prize pack as well. Awesome gifts for this month's raffle. So thanks, T-Town. You've been incredibly generous this month and incredibly generous period throughout the time we've been here on the channel. So thanks for your contributions. And again, folks, it's just a matter of what you can give. You don't have to match T-Town, but I like to I like to throw the dagger down there.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't like people getting ahead of me in things. I'm a very competitive
competition
guy. I'm playing a game of chess. You beat me. I'm like, let's have another game. They say Tiger Woods is a lot that way. That Tiger Woods doesn't like to lose at anything. That if you lose, he just double or nothing. He just gets
that can get you in trouble. But
that can get you in trouble. Yeah, if there's money involved, that can really get you in trouble. Yeah, better off betting other things, silly things like I'll shave my hair or I'll do something goofy.
Yeah, right. Like hey, real quick, I just want to give a shout out because you just played Nicky Lamangino's video. Is when we had Nicky on for that rock show and we were on forever, he was playing music and everything, he was promoting his YouTube channel, which I have in front of me. It is Trouble Rocks Big Time, or just look up Trouble. Maybe you'll find it in that way. And do you know what his partner's name is?
Joel Fricks is his name.
Okay,
yeah,
Joel. So they've done a million music videos of all kinds of things. And I thought that, like, normally sometimes when I'm working, I listen to music in the background. Yeah. And so I said, you know what, this time I'm going to listen to the Trouble playlist and just go through it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And a few times I just had to stop my work and watch the videos and all the crazy kooky stuff.
They're funny. They do a lot of like weird editing and they put psycho backgrounds behind themselves. Yes. They also just do on their channel, it's like silly videos. So like they're in a deli and they're like do stupid stuff. I'm like, what is happening here? They do like a skit essentially. Yeah. Yes, they do. So, it may or may not be your taste, but I find it amusing. I mean, I know the two of them, so that makes it even more amusing to me. But yeah, they just do goofy, silly stuff.
So check it out.
Joel's an interesting character. Nick is too, but Joel is an interesting character. So I think in the videos, Nick's a little more the straight man, and Joel is always the guy that's getting him in trouble, so to speak. I think they're trying to it's like we're trouble. We're always in trouble. We get in trouble. Yeah. We do things that we shouldn't. There's a little, I don't know, I don't say a little impractical jokers-ishness to it.
But not, and I love that they're having fun with it. I want to have fun with my life.
When I started doing the YouTube channel, he had told me he was doing YouTube, and then he showed me what he was doing. I was like, good for you. And I said, as long as you're having fun doing it, who cares? Like, 100%. That's part of this wonderful digital world is do what you love. You do a Jets show because you love the Jets. You love, I don't know how you talk about the Jets, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, but you love it that much that you can do it, so everybody has a passion. And so, take your passion and why not bring it to the digital world and start a channel, start a show, start just shooting videos. Some people just do shorts and shorts alone. They record shorts, they do live shorts, they do all kinds of stuff. So I like mixing it up and doing a little bit of everything. I shot some silly shorts while I was in Boston, put them up on our channel. Just, I shot some Scots and kilts while I was cutting a video and talking about, the World Cup fever up there, so just do what you love. It's great. I stopped. I don't know if you saw this, BG. I posted a video yesterday. I got it up yesterday afternoon, but on my way back to Central New York, I passed through, and as you always do if you're going to Boston, Springfield, Massachusetts. And I was like, all right, this is my chance. I was there once when Boeheim got inducted into the Hall of Fame, but it was at night. I didn't see anything. I didn't know. I just arrived, used my press credential, went in, saw the induction. So, but the Basketball Hall of Fame, as you know, is in Springfield, Massachusetts. And I was like, you know what? Let me stop. Let me stop.
Okay.
So I shot a video right outside the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts, the Naismith Hall of Fame, which is both college and pro basketball. A little fun Nick video, about the Knicks. The 53-year drought is over. Maybe some of these guys will be enshrined right here. And we know their name will now be on a plaque in here that says NBA champion. That can never be taken away.
Sure.
So I was just talking about that. It's really weird. If you've ever gone to the Hall of Fame or if you ever now maybe get the itch to do so, the Hall of Fame is it's the strangest little thing. It's just like in a strip mall. All right.
What?
I swear you
like the Greater Syracuse Sports Hall of Fame?
No,
That's
no.
like what's in that wing of the
I'm talking about the Naismith Hall of
No,
Fame.
no, I know what you're talking about. I'm saying as an example, they have like a wing in a mall. I can't remember where it is in Syracuse, and it's just in a mall, and you just walk into it, and then they've got it's weird that
it's
in
just
Drivers
sort of
Village
is where it is actually.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. So maybe it's moved now, but like I've seen they had this wing in there, and that's it.
Yeah.
But no, go ahead.
So no, the Basketball Hall of Fame. The museum is fabulous. I've been in the museum before, but that night at Bayheim, I walked around and saw some things. So when you go in, it's impressive and it's cool. It's really neat, but the entrance is anything but impressive. Literally, there's like a Panera Bread over here, another like clothing store here, and then there's like an entrance, and there's just the one sign. You'll see it in a video that's over my head. All right, I'm just sitting on kind of like a rock right in front of the place. And it says Basketball Hall of Fame. Now there's signs to get to it, and there's a sign to come into the parking lot. But you literally pull into a strip mall parking lot. You park your car like you would be walking up to stores in a strip mall, and then you just go in the proper door. And that door is the one that has the sign above it that says Basketball Hall of Fame, right? And then you walk in, and then behind it, and you see when you pull into the strip mall, there's kind of like this big domey looking thing. It looks like a big like giant earth or something. And that's kind of a piece of the inside of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I see the Hall of Fame sign. I've seen the sign before.
You don't appreciate the entrance is anything but impressive. But then once you go in, then it's impressive. But it does not have a grandiose entrance. So many of the Halls of Fame, there's a big entrance, there's pillars, there's something cool.
Pro Football Hall of Fame, right? Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown is kind of a modest entrance, but
I have never been there.
It's in a beautiful, like it looks like a colonial home. It's got pillars and it's pretty. It's pretty, but it's not like gaudy. It fits this beautiful village that's known as Cooperstown, New York. So it kind of fits in with the scenery around it. But it isn't, again, an impressive entrance, so to speak. But the Basketball Hall of Fame is far, like, Cooperstown is grandiose compared to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Why is the Basketball Hall of Fame like that?
I don't know. It's a great question. Maybe we ought to have somebody on someday from the Basketball Hall and just say, hey, listen, the museum is really bad, but did you guys ever think about doing more with the entrance, or can you do more?
We got to make sure we're not too offensive either.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
they built the darn
entrance.
place into the front of a strip mall, but then, like I said, once you enter the building, you won't feel that way. But when you're going in, you're like, whoa, like you could theoretically believe that place is the size of like a pizzeria, like I walk in and get a takeout pizzeria with a few tables. Like that's what it looks like. That's what the entrance looks like. It's like just that simple. It's like a door, and then once there's a ticket booth there, you walk in and then you're in the museum. So the museum is impressive. So I'm not putting down the Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm just saying it's unusual. Like you pull up, my wife was like, where is it? I was like, it's right there, that door. She's like, that's it? I was like, yeah, don't worry. It's nice inside. See the big thing behind it? It opens up, But at the front entrance, it's just like you're going into a Panera Bread or something, or a pizzeria. You're like, yeah, Basketball Hall of Fame behind these doors. So anyway, I did shoot a video there, so go check it out, folks, and you'll get a little bit of a sense. I should have shot the door. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's it. That's all. The only sign that's outside is the sign that you see behind
above your head. Yeah.
And then they also do have like right on the road, like a giant, like I'll call it like a telescopic sign that goes up probably 75 or 100 feet, and then there's a basketball on top of it. So you see that from the road, like, there's the because it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. So that's kind of cool, but it's not in the front of the building. It's on the side of the building out near the road, so people driving by could see it and go, maybe we'll stop for the basketball.
I guess that's true.
As I did. So I did stop in Springfield, Massachusetts the day after the Knicks won the championship, and I thought that was a kind of a neat thing. So go check out that short as well. So we're always putting content together. Like I told you on the live video, and we were Sean Devon, the recorded video that we did with Sean Devaney on Friday when we talked all things NBA. Like even when we're on vacay, man, we're never on vacay. You're always like, yeah, all right, I'll get in with you guys, or I'll shoot a couple of videos, So there's always stuff. Anything that's going on in our lives, we try to put on the channel as long as it's somewhat relevant to what the channel brings. So anyway, sorry about all that, folks, but thanks to T-Town again. That's what got us off tangent there. And five new memberships going to the channel. Thanks for that.
And we're now 57 subscribers away. So we've gotten one more on the show. So keep it rolling, baby. We're getting closer and closer.
Yeah, 57 is not a big number, folks. 57 memberships. We could do that in a week, man. We could get to 1,000. It just opens up doors for us here on the channel. So it may not seem like a big deal. It is a big deal in the YouTube world just to get to the, dare I say, the modest number of 1,000. Plus, it's a nice round number. I mean, it just kind of sounds cool. For sure. I got 1K subscribers, baby. Anyway, all right, back to Joe Tipton here for a minute. So you are genuinely excited. You feel like the core of this Jets line, all right, is Membu, Tipton, and Fashanu, right? I'm getting that one right.
Correct.
That's he's got some name.
Oluwaseun is his first name, right?
Like,
most people just call him Olu,
right? Olu
yes.
Fashanu, which that rolls off the tongue well. I'm like good with those Samoan Hawaiian names, Olu Fashanu. Like it, I mean, I've now got Tua Tagovailoa totally under control. I don't have any issues with those kind of names. Once you learn them, you get them to roll. I heard so many people out there in the last 2 weeks just butchering Victor Wembanyama's name, like Wembanyama. I mean, like I'm like, what? It's Wembanyama. It's really not that hard. You just got to say it a few times to get it to roll off the tongue. It's long. But it's sounds exactly the way it's spelled. Anyway, pronunciations, always, I think, an important thing in sports. And it's good to know guys' names the correct way, even when they decide to change them midstream sometimes, which can be really annoying.
Well, that's also true, which, by the way, real quick, Olu is of Yoruba heritage.
Oh, he's from Aruba. Okay.
Yeah. So, no, not Aruba. Yoruba. I believe this is West African.
Oh, wow.
Heritage.
Oh,
so yeah, so not
that.
Aruba,
okay.
like the island you can visit on a cruise. More West African.
I thought maybe Hawaiian, Samoan, because so many of those names have those vowels like that.
Sure, right.
But you can get exotic names like that certainly in the continent of Africa. Okay, so he's actually from Africa. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So there you go. His whole
Sorry,
family.
Olu. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
I do love your name, buddy.
But no. So the fact that the Jets have this three core together, maybe Dylan Parham joins this group this year of like, wow, he's going to be a piece. He's signed to a minuscule deal. Maybe he joins that group. But to have 60% of your offensive line in the right direction, you were talking about, is sort of leading us into this topic matter of trench warfare, protecting your quarterback. If you just have a really good offensive line, that makes your quarterback better, makes Breece Hall better, makes Garrett Wilson better, makes all these things better. So the fact that they have these three locked in, again, Olu and Armon are still on the rookie deals, which is good. So they're cost affordable for a couple more years. But it's great to have these three locked in. So smart move by Muji. I appreciate him doing it. And again, now the Jets list of free agents they absolutely need to re-sign next year. Tippmann was at the tip. He was at the top of this list.
Yeah, okay.
And so now they have that locked in. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome when that kind of stuff happens. And I think my Giants are trying to do a similar thing. I mean, a lot of people might have criticized, taking Mauignoa this year in the draft, expending a first-round pick, especially could have had Caleb Downs. It could have been the two Ohio State guys. But the fact of the matter is, upon further thought, upon further review, and, I think Downs could be a really good player, and we might go – maybe, I don't know. But I just think you just can't overinvest in offensive line. And the Giants have made a lot of investments in recent years, but a lot of those investments haven't panned out. And they've expended a number of draft picks, and some of those draft picks have not worked out. And you just got to stay with it. I mean, you just can't give up on it. Like, too bad. We've done what we can do. We're just going to go out there with an average offensive line every year because we can't seem to figure it out without somehow getting lucky. You got to stay at it, and you got to stay with it. And when you are lucky enough, because you have to endure a painful season in order to be at the top of the draft, unless you've traded for that pick. All right. You have to endure a difficulty. You've got to take advantage of those times and then draft guys that are going to be difference makers for the long term. And so as much as the Giants might be criticized for that pick this year, I think in the end, now you've got Andrew Thomas, who has definitely proven to be a guy. Okay. Mm-hmm. And now you've got Mauignoa, who definitely, I think, will be a guy. We'll see. He hasn't played in the NFL yet. Everybody, most people had him rated as the top offensive lineman. He was ranked no lower than 2 by anybody out there. I know he was the second one taken in the draft, just one spot behind the other guy. But a lot of people really, really liked him. So again, the Giants are investing in something to me that I think is the most important part of any football team. So kudos to your Jets and Joe Tippmann. Kudos to the Giants in making further investments in the offensive line. You got to get that part right, and then you can get some of the other stuff. So it's probably quarterback first, offensive line second, all right? And then you can go beyond that. Now you start talking about skill positions, whether it's edge rushers, whether it's great wide receivers, whether it's the lockdown corner that I'm always craving that I really want the Giants to go find this year. Please. I mean, you were telling me the list of free agents that are still available at corner. I'm like, what are the Giants doing?
It is.
I don't care about these defensive tackles with throwing all these hog mollies in the middle of the line. And half of them are just these journeyman guys that may or may not work out. Man, go get me a shutdown corner, man. Go get me somebody that's got a name that has proven that they can do it. Put him alongside Paulson Adebo and let, the new guy develop. All right. Let Colton Hood develop on the side or be a slot guy, be a role guy this year as he becomes hopefully an accomplished corner. And now maybe you start building the kind of cornerback room that makes your fan base proud. So Mama,
Hey,
doing the right thing here. I think our
all
two
right.
organizations, despite our humble seasons of recent. Go ahead.
Hey, Lurch, let's randomly go off topic here for a second. I don't know if
Okay.
you saw this. Did you watch the UFC 250 White
The
House
White
event
House
last
thing?
night?
No, I did not. I did
Okay.
not.
So I watched it in full flower. So we have a couple of questions here.
Okay, go for it.
First off, Badshaw says, Paul, what did you think of Derek Lewis's performance last night? Yeah, he is a massive heavyweight. He's one of the most prominent knockout heavyweight artists in UFC history. And he was on the card last night. And oh boy, he just was sluggish. Big. He's 41 years of age. And I thought to myself before the fight started, like, man, it's such a wonder that he's still doing this at 41.
Yeah.
Like, that's a long time. And then I saw the fight. I'm like, oh boy, like his gas tank has eroded. It's sad to see.
Okay.
Sometimes you prefer Barry Sanders. They do their 10 years. They're all Pro Bowl years. Then you leave and you never see what a drop off looks like because they didn't give you the chance. They just left at the high of highs. So Derek Lewis, unfortunately, he ended up getting knocked out. So, but it was an ugly watch. So Badshaw, yeah, that was tough, man. And I see that, of course, Jamie, our Hall of Fame member, asking about the overall event. I would say, I'm not going to, I get it. It was at the White House, and there's a lot of political things people could say about it. I'm going to avoid all of that. And you guys, if you guys want to debate about that sort of thing, that's your own thing. I'm just talking about the fights and all that. I love that there was live music. That was cool. So all the entrance songs, normally you're in a stadium, they're just playing a
Right.
speaker or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how all that works. They're just playing that.
He's a PA
At
system.
the White House, they had I'm going to butcher it now. I had it written down somewhere, but like the White House has like a professional Marine.
Yeah, the Marine band. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Marine band. Yeah, and they have an official and they played all the music, but it wasn't just old school songs. Like it could be a pop culture thing. It could be a song from like 3 years ago or something, but they played it and I was like, wow. And they had singers and everything. I was like, oh my goodness. So very moving. So that part of the event was super cool. And I would say all the fights were awesome. All of them did not go to the judges. Everyone was a finish. So either it was a knockout, a submission, something, which was great. We saw one of the greatest upsets in UFC history. Ilya Taporia got beaten with a rake by Justin Gaethje. So that was a huge upset that we didn't see coming. So yeah, there was a lot of extracurricular activity that people could spend some time on. I'm choosing to ignore all of that. I was just there for the fights, and it went till like 1 a.m. because, Lurch, here's the thing that in UFC, Dana White already came out and said they're never doing it again. UFC events normally aren't outside. They're inside a stadium.
Control.
They were,
right.
Yeah, right.
Temperature,
they were on the south
rain.
lawn. Yeah, right. So they were on the south lawn of the White House, and there was thunderstorms that ripped through.
Yeah.
And while they have an overall cover, so like the fighters wouldn't get soaking wet or anything, but like still lightning strikes and there's fans and stuff. So
dangerous.
It's the same thing like the Syracuse Mets. If there's a lightning strike, you have to stop the game for at least
Delay
30 minutes, and sometimes goes to 45 minutes. So they had to delay all the festivities for an hour, but they were able to get it all off without a hit. So yeah, I thought it was awesome. It sounds like the UFC will never do that again. They invested so much crazy money. They built that gigantic palace of an octagon that they're now breaking apart, I imagine, as we're speaking and tearing it apart. But it was super cool. I mean, that was awesome, man. And as a MMA fighting fan, I thought it was cool. So Hall of Famer Jamie and Batch was asking about it. I enjoyed all the fights, and there was some good stuff in there.
Yeah, Jamie's still asking, by the way, about the order reveal.
Yes.
Leaving me alone, but he's not. Boy Green mentioned it's going to be August 20th. I will not wait till my birthday to do the order reveal, Jamie. So don't worry. Don't worry. And do we are we prepared, Boy Green, to reveal the final member of our
I can't remember if we have or not.
I don't think we have. No, I don't think
then
we have on air.
Sure.
I know you and I have talked about it. We have hunkered down the person. So we have added our 12th person.
Yeah.
So Jamie's going to be asking forever if we don't get it out there.
So let's just reveal it.
Yes,
so if we have not discussed it, it will be Matt from Auburn. Matt is a guy that was in our Champs League for several years, and what that all is, because I don't want to make this an inclusive thing. I want everyone or an exclusive thing. I want it is exclusive, but I want you to make it inclusive. I want everyone to be a part of it.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, we do a fantasy football league. We do several leagues actually, but our highest league, we do a live fantasy draft. I can't tell you guys enough. I'm a huge fantasy football fan.
Cool.
If you've never done a live fantasy draft and you have a home league, I suggest doing it. The online computer is cool that you have the technology. 100%. Pick your place, and any restaurant within reason that's not like a hole in the wall, 100%. And so again, if it's a dive bar, it's too small. Maybe in that particular instance, you can't do it. But really, any restaurant or anything, you get a couple of guys. You can get a board. It doesn't have to be a massive board. It's up to your league to determine. We do a whole big extravagant thing, so our board's pretty big. But you can do a minimal board. You get your buddies together. You can razz each other when you're making picks. Have a clock if you guys need to be really stringent. We keep that a little looser, but we're on top of people to keep it moving, and the experience is unbelievable. So it's an awesome time. And when we have been doing that since like 2018. Matt from Auburn was a part of those leagues. But as we built more fantasy leagues, if you finish in the bottom 3, you get punished. Your punishment is not some embarrassing fantasy football punishment where he asks you to go. I just saw this one going viral. They forced the loser of their fantasy football league to go trick-or-treating in June, and they had to get at least 10 pieces of candy from people, or else they had to keep going. And so they'd be knocking on the door dressed as like Harry Potter, knock, trick-or-treat at random people, and they were mic'd up. And they asked the person trick or treat. They're like, "What the dude? It's June. What are you doing here?" And this guy's like 40, like whoever is like, the guy in the league. And so he's doing this fantasy punishment. And
is he allowed to tell the people at the door this is a bet and I have to acquire candy? He has to.
So no,
he has to play it off like he doesn't even realize like it's actually.
No, like he could say that it's
what
that.
Do you mean? Halloween's all year, man.
Right.
Just
and basically,
if you could just give me any small piece of candy, I'll be on my way. No.
Yeah, and also he had to just like ask if they would give him anything at all. So some people would give him a book or an apple or whatever they had because they didn't have
buddy,
candy.
I'll give you a good book.
There you go. But eventually he got the minimum amount of candy he had to get, so that's funny. So it's something like that, but you drop leagues. And we only do currently, maybe this will change in the future, we only do one live fantasy draft. So it's a whole event. We set it up. This year it'll be at our friends over at Sharky's in Liverpool, which will be amazing. But our other leagues are all online. So anywho, Matt was doing our live drafts, but he fell out of the league and then just sort of kept falling down as we created new leagues. Yep. And he never quit. He always DM me and text me, "Man, I'm fighting my way back up. I'm going to get there." And then he's like bounced down, then come up a little, then bounce down and gone back and forth.
So we put the jumper cables on him.
100%. And well-deserved. He earned his spot. Yeah, 100%.
Well-deserved.
Yeah, he is.
There were a lot of potential candidates.
Yes.
And we went through the list, and you and I both agreed this is a great idea. This guy has grinded, and he was totally willing to wait. But we're going to give him a gift for being highly involved and highly engaged, despite the fact that he wasn't in, the league that's all the glory. The other leagues are wonderful, but it's the league that has all the glory. That's the one that you win that everybody wants to win. You get to kind of celebrate that. So it's awesome that Matt's going to get another swing at the piñata here, and hopefully he can hang around for a few years. He's going to get a chance to be back in. So cool for Matt. By the way, Bradshaw throwing out congratulations to the Manchild on the Knicks. Thank you very much, Bradshaw. Again, champagne will be flowing later in the show here, my friends. Yes. Champagne glass. I don't know if you notice. Bottle on ice right behind the Manchild here.
Yeah, I see it. Hard to miss.
Ready to go. First, it would be drinking. I'll give you the little pinky drink, Boy Green. And then I will take it outside and off air. All right, but we will put it onto our channel shortly thereafter. Sure. I will shoot a short of me completely bathing in this champagne. All right, I will be spraying it all over my face, jumping up and down like a lunatic, screaming "Let's go Knicks" and anything else that happens to flow through my mind, and letting people know how excited I didn't. You want to know the heartbreaking part about the Manchild's moment for the Knicks? Okay. Here's the heartbreaking part. Okay. So as you know, I was in a pub with Brett LaBelle. Okay. And we now Brett had told me, like, okay, I can hang out. I got to work tomorrow though. So here's the deal. Let's meet at 8:45. And I said, all right, the game starts at 8:30. I'll be there at 8:30. You're going to get there at 8:30. All right. We actually changed bars because the bar we went to, like they had the first bar we went to, which he picked a great bar. I let him pick it. There was like 10 TV screens. It's like walking into a Dave and Buster's. There's wall-to-wall TVs, giant screens. I walk in, I'm like, oh yeah, every screen, no soccer, every screen at the Knicks. I was like, this is going to be phenomenal. They had the sound up. I was like, whoo, this is going to be fantastic.
So what's the problem?
I walk in. I'm 15 minutes earlier than Brett, and I go to the hostess. Say, there's going to be 3 of us. There's 2 of us here right now, but a third person is going to be joining us. And I don't know, just anywhere in this bar area would be great. They had probably about 10 empty tables. The bar was full, and there was an event that was winding down, and I guess was on the far side of the bar where they had the food out in the sternos and so on and so forth, so it looked like something had been going on.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, if you want, I can get your seat, but I got to put you on a list. Probably going to be about 40 minutes. And I'm just like, I look left, I look right. I'm like, but there's tables everywhere. I could go to the bar and get my own beer if you can't serve me, and then we could just sit at the table, and then our friend will join us when he gets here. So I'm perplexed. So I go, well, okay, I'm not gonna be rude. I'm like, okay, well, put me on the list. I'm like, this ain't gonna be 40 minutes. There's open tables everywhere. They're gonna sit me down in 10 minutes, right? A lot of times they say.
Oh, so you didn't ask why the tables, like why, like there's
no, I kind of like gave a like, okay. All right, we gotta wait.
But you didn't say anything. It was sort of body language thing.
It was body language. It was kind of gesturing, but I was just like, I'm not gonna be rude. I don't know this place. I don't know the owners. So I want to have a good time. I'm not here to have a good time. I'm not here to make trouble. So okay, fine. Put me on the list. That sounds good. I'm waiting for Brett anyway. I said, is it okay if I just go over to the bar, get a beer, so I could just drink while I'm waiting? Just sure. And I tried to do that, and then Brett actually walked in 5 minutes later. So before I even got a beer, Brett comes and taps me on the shoulder. I turn around, Brett LaBelle standing in my face. Right?
Oh, that's how you met Brett. That's cool.
So he's like, hey, what's up, man? It's great to see you. So he recognized me right away. Obviously, we see each other, so I would have.
Of course.
So now I stopped getting my beer, and now I'm over on the side talking to Brett, and I said, hey, I don't know what's going on, Brett. I went to the thing, and she told me 40 minutes. I'm on a list. They took my phone number, but I'm like, I don't get it. There's empty. Now there's an event going on over there. Maybe they just want to clear out the event before they let anybody else sit. But she didn't really fully explain it, so I'm a little bit like, I don't know what's happening here.
Okay.
And he's like, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. So, Brett goes over and he waits, and then he talks and he gets the same response, and he's like, but there's tables everywhere. And it's still going to be 40 minutes. So Brett goes, we're out of here. Let's go. So he puts his arm around me, puts my arm around Pat, and out the door we go. Out of here. All right. So I'm like, damn, that was a good spot, man. With Nick TVs everywhere. But I don't want to wait 40 minutes to sit down either. So, okay, fine. We leave. And then we go outside. I said, all right, Brett, it's your town. He's like, come on, I got a place right down here. So we go down to the Irish pub, and we walk into the Irish pub. And now I told you, it's filled with Scots. Yeah. All right. People in kilts, people wearing the Scottish blue, or the red is their World Cup jersey, but usually they wear the navy blue. And I've been seeing them around town. So I'm like, my God, there's a lot of soccer people in here. Every TV in the Irish pub is on soccer. Every TV. There's no Knicks. There's 7 or 8 TVs lining in front of the bar, on the sides, and everything is soccer. And I'm like, oh, damn it, Brett. It doesn't look like we're going to get the Knicks game here, man.
Yeah.
Looks like the soccer crowd. I mean, this is an Irish pub. It doesn't surprise me, right? He says, I got this. So he goes over, he starts, convincing with people. And, next thing you know, boom, one of the TVs is the Knicks. All right. And then about 15 minutes later, 3 seats open up at the bar, literally right in front of the Knick TV. And we popped in there and we were good. We were golden. But the sad part, to get to the end of my story and the point of my story. So Brett, so Brett tells me, I got to get up early tomorrow morning, so I don't know if I'm going to stay for the whole game. I said, you don't have to, Brett. I'm just here to hang with you for a little while. If you want to stay for an hour and leave, I won't be insulted, please. Like, I just wanted to meet you in person. I know, like, there's things going on in your life. I'm here on vacation.
You just dropped in on him, right?
My wife doesn't even like sports. She'd sooner be back at home knitting or something. So, okay, don't worry. There's no pressure. When you're ready to leave, you just tell me you're out of here and you can leave. And then I'll leave too, probably. So Brett stays through the end of the third quarter.
Okay.
And so now I got a decision to make, do I stay in the Irish pub just with my wife and I don't know anybody else and just hunker down on the Knicks and they're all nobody's paying attention. I'm the only one paying attention to the Knicks. Or do I just head back to the place where I was staying and watch the end of the game there? So I decided I'm going to bail. So I go outside, I have a little chat with Brett, and then I hop in the car, I put it on the radio right away. It's only 5 minutes from where I was staying, so I wasn't going to miss much. And I get back to the place. So now I'm watching the game. Okay. Now the person I'm staying with, is already in bed. Okay. It's late at night. I mean, that game went pretty late. It went like to midnight or something.
Sure. Okay.
So like, I'm coming in quiet. I don't want to make noise. I'm staying in someone else's home because I was doing an Airbnb, not a hotel. Okay. So I'm in someone else's home. It's a beautiful home that I stayed in. That was lovely. And so I hunker down in the kitchen, I've got the game on my phone, I got get myself a drink and some chips and I'm chipping and I'm watching the end of the game. And, and then the Knicks win. I can't yell, yes, glory, it's over, right? I'm seeing everyone else in the world celebrating, and I'm like, like golf clapping myself. I'm like, damn, this sucks, man.
You should have stayed at the bar, Lurch.
Although should have, at least
even
at the bar,
at
I could have
bar,
screamed and yelled. They would have thought I was a lunatic.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares? I could have unleashed. All right.
I would have
unleashed hell at the bar, and said, drinks for everybody. I probably would have done something stupid like that. Drinks for everyone. The Knicks are champions, So maybe it was a good idea to get out of the bar.
That's probably true.
But anyway, so there I was like a feeble little mouse watching this thing that I waited 53 years.
So that's not
a great place to be. But I was, and then my son is sending me the videos from New York, and but the cool thing, you want to know the cool thing about it though was this. A lot of people out there that know me, whether it be from the media world, whether it be from my teaching world, whether it just be from my personal life, know how deep I am with the Knicks, that this is a deep relationship. This goes back to birth, essentially, that I've had season tickets, as you know, like there's a real history with me and the Knicks, and I've waited for this like a lot of people. Now, I was alive when the prior championships were won. So there are some Knicks fans that a lot of the younger people that I were not. Okay. I did, but I didn't experience them in the same way as a little kid. All right. So this is my first adult championship, dare I say. And I just, it was really cool how I was getting texts and pictures sent to me from former students, current students, friends of mine just down in New York, my son in Manhattan. Like there must have been about 10 or 12 people that as soon as it ended, it was like I was the first person they thought of, and they're sending me, congratulations, this is so awesome. Check out where I was. You're the first person I thought of. People were saying really, really kind things. So it was really, really cool. Even though I wasn't able to bang the pots and pans, so to speak, that I was getting rewarded by people who know about my fandom and know how dedicated I am. So it was almost like interior, kind of thing. So today I get a chance to unleash, dare I say, and pour champagne on my head and do what I wasn't able to do when that moment happened. But that's okay. We can all celebrate in different ways. And I just had to do what was appropriate there. I think I would have got kicked out of my Airbnb if I just started going bonkers in this woman's kitchen and started just spraying stuff all over myself. That probably would not have been a good idea. But I still saw every last waking moment of that game, or heard every last working, the ones that I didn't see, I heard. And I had faith the whole time. People were texting me during the game. I was like, we're winning. They're going to win. I don't care if they have the lead. I don't care if they again got off to a fast start. I don't care if they go up 20 again. The Knicks are winning this game. The Spurs will choke this thing away again. The Knicks are too focused. They don't want this thing going back. Even though they'd love to win on New York soil, they want this thing over with. They want to win right now and get it over with. And they proved their worth again. We'll go over the stats, after the break. There are incredible stats about this Knicks team. Incredible stats that you cannot deny one way or another. You can look at this roster and say it's not the greatest team to ever win a championship. It doesn't belong with the great teams. If you look solely at the roster, I would have very little ammunition to argue with you that it is one of the great championship teams in history. However, if you look at other things that I'm going to point out, you're going to insist that they are one of the greatest champions ever. We'll get into that when we start talking about the Knicks. All right, let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back. All right, we'll do some chatter on the Knicks. We'll open up the phone lines if anybody wants to celebrate on the phone lines. Remember, members only phone lines for the time being. So you must be a member. So if you're not a member, you can join right now. Get yourself 2 raffle tickets and be eligible to jump on the phone lines and join us here on the program with a little video chat. And we'll give priority, of course, to Hall of Fame members and diehard members. But if you're a member, you can get in. As long as you're a member, we will allow you to join us on the phone lines and say whatever you want. Talk about the Jets, talk about the Giants, talk about the Knicks, whatever the heck you want. We will do that. We're going to try and start building in little windows to all of our shows as often as we can so that we can interact with you. So Boy Green will put that up in the comments for people. Just remember, you got to be a member to get in on that. All right. And if you're not a member, you could join. It's just that simple. Only $4.99. It's super cheap to get in as a member. And we appreciate it. You're supporting the channel on top of everything else. All right. So let us break out. We'll hear from our friends at Northeast Roofing. We'll hear from today's video sponsor, our friends at Box Drop Syracuse. And then we are back. We'll talk some Knicks. We'll get ready to get the champagne uncorked. Manchild will be sipping from the nectar at the end of today's show and then spraying myself down with that very same champagne after the show today, and I will post that as a separate video/short. All right, so break here, and then we're back. More of the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. Don't forget to like the video, and if you're not already a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Be right back. Considering that we sleep nearly 1/3 of our lives, buying the right mattress is essential. At Box Drop Syracuse Mattress and Sofa Outlet, you'll get a unique experience, one that saves you 30 to 70% off retail prices on top-of-the-line mattresses like Sapphire Sleep. At Box Drop, you'll schedule a mattress fitting appointment and get one-on-one service directly with Paul, the owner. No middleman. Family-owned, huge savings, no-pressure sales designed to save you time and money. And now Box Drop Syracuse has sectional sofas and love seats as well, with prices designed to fit your budget. Box Drop Syracuse Mattress and Sofas. Set up your appointment today at boxdropsyracuse.com.
Finding the right local roofing company can be tricky. You don't want to hire the wrong roofers, or you could end up spending a fortune on repairs. The pros at Northeast Roofing Professionals can ensure your home is protected by a strong and sturdy roof. Locally owned and operated, over 30 years experience, free estimates, and competitively priced. Don't settle for an inexperienced roofing contractor. Turn to Northeast Roofing Professionals. Discounts for military and first responders. Reach out and let them put a sturdy roof over your head. NERPCNY.com. NERPCNY.com.
All right, we are back. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital at MC Show Digital. Sorry, I got up there for a second. We are talking all things New York Jets. Joe Tippmann. We started the show off with that. And then also don't forget, we're going to talk some Knicks here now that we're on the back end of the show and bask in the glory a little bit. By the way, the parade, if you haven't heard, through the Canyon of Heroes, as it's known in New York City, in downtown Manhattan, which is where that parade will be, and it will end up at City Hall, where the Knicks will receive the keys to the city, will be on Thursday morning for everybody. So Thursday mornings, we will do, the Knicks will do the Canyon of Heroes parade. I know, Boy Green, I'm still on the fence right now. I got to see if I can put it all together. Remember, I just was down in New York. Now it's down in Boston, or up in Boston, or over in Boston. And now this question is, am I going to go back down to New York now for the Canyon of Heroes parade? So we'll see. We'll see. My son is still debating, too, whether he can get the day off to go to the parade. I think it's going to be kind of in the morning-ish. So I don't know what time it starts. I'm sure they have announced that already. But I think one of the things I caught was that it was going to be in the morning. So I'll probably start at 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning and then wind its way through the city. And then probably, the 1 o'clock-ish or something. That's when they're on the steps of City Hall. Everybody does the rah-rah speeches. Come on, let's hear from Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, right.
Says something that gets people going wild. That's all coming your way. And it's so funny when you have a championship run and when you win a title, how there are going to be these like memorable pieces. I'm sure to your Celtics title just a couple of years ago, there are memorable plays and memorable pieces to that run. But for the Knicks, I mean, that OG Anunoby tip is just going to live forever. I mean, like that has now become one of the great all-time shots in the history of all-time shots, right? Is OG tipping that ball in. So, and there certainly are some other moments I could probably point to, but that one's probably the most poignant moment is OG, and then, yeah. So I think to me, that's the most memorable play in this whole series, 5-game series.
That one's probably because it's just, it's a bucket and it's clutch. It's in the moment and all that. I would say the second one that's probably not, it's definitely not as heralded, but it was critically important, was the Mitchell Robinson offensive rebound.
Phenomenal.
Throw that back out, like that sealed it, because if he doesn't get that, Victor Wembanyama or someone else gets it,
good point.
Who knows what then happens? So, Mitchell Robinson deserves a lot of love too.
All right, let's get FedEx Boy in here. I see he's here on the phone lines, Boy Green, so you can be the DJ here. Bring him in. Jamie, the FedEx guy, Mr. Hall of Fame. What's going on, brother? How are you?
You're too happy, man, Charles. So I'm gonna. You're lucky. My friend is a Knicks fan, so I'm very happy for you and her. But it's a one and done, and they said this team is like the Dirk Nowitzki Dallas Mavericks championship.
Oh, that's cold, man. That's cold. You know what? You got to throw water on our fire this quickly, huh? It's going to be a one-time thing. I'll tell you what. I mean, if you look at this Knicks team fairly, in terms of they're not the favorites, by the way. Fourth favored by Vegas coming off of the championship. Literally, the day they win the championship, the new odds come out, and the Knicks are fourth. They're behind OKC, the Spurs, right? I think. And Boston. I think the second team is the Spurs.
Yeah,
you can double check that.
Yeah.
I know it's OKC. I know it's Boston. I think it was the third. I think the Spurs was the one in the middle. So OKC, the Spurs, and Boston were the three teams in front of them. Jamie, all I could say to you and every other person and all the people in Vegas is this is exactly what motivates us. We were the underdog in this series. We're the underdog the whole season. We were the 3 seed in the East. No one gave us a chance. Boston was getting healthy. The Pistons had manhandled us during the regular season. And what did we do? We won ourselves a championship. So talk us down again. This is exactly the way we love it in New York. Talk us down. Tell us how bad we are. Tell us how we're not doing it again. I'll be honest with you. They're going to be able to keep most, if not all, of this roster together. The only people they have to solve, there it is. San Antonio's one.
Oklahoma City second.
Then Boston, and then the
3.
Knicks. So no respect, no love for the Knicks. Good for you. Screw you, Vegas. Screw you, people. But it's all right. We'll take those odds. We'll take that plus 650 to the bank, baby. Because the fact of the matter is this roster is going to, for the most part, stay intact. Everybody's still under contract. The only people they have to solve that were factors in this whole thing right now that they have to do something with are Mitchell Robinson and Landry Shamet. Every other person, they could just leave them alone and they're back next year. Now, they're not going to. They're going to extend a guy or two. They've got to make a decision long-term on Karl Anthony Towns. So they are going to have to either this year or next offseason for sure make a decision on Towns, but they might want to do that preemptively to get the guy locked in. I'm sure at some point they should give Jalen Brunson a raise. I mean, the guy has proven to be worth way more than his contract. But every other guy is locked in at least for another season, in some cases 2 or 3. So this roster is not going to be all that much different. Now, I've told Boy Green this last week when we were talking about the NBA, you can't sit back pat in the NBA. You got to get busy every offseason, even if you are the champions. I offer you Oklahoma City, who thought they were just going to waltz through this thing and win. And, they were missing one big piece. I mean, they had a big injury. It was their second best player that was hurt. Okay.
Of course.
Jalen is a really good player. Okay. He was their second leading scorer last year. He was the second leading scorer this year. He's an important player. He's the nice little compliment to SGA. But they were not prepared beyond that. So they didn't have the horses beyond that. And that's the planning that you got to do. Those little moves the Knicks made at the trade deadline. Jose Alvarado, how important did he end up being in this NBA Finals? How about really important? Playing major minutes in the last 2 games that were difference-making minutes, taking the pressure, dare I say, off of Jalen Brunson, having to handle the ball, plus doing some pretty good things defensively. I mean, that guy was manning up on Wembanyama on some plays. It's like, what is that little guy doing there? And he's pushing him and shoving him and doing everything he could. So the Knicks roster will be intact. Go ahead. Count us out. We love it. Count us out. We'll be back again, brother. Back.
Yeah, you had the dream case scenario. You didn't have to play anyone until the finals.
Oh, okay.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Boys. We got to get to some breaking news here on the show.
Hang in, Jamie.
Yep, here we go. Let me see if I can get to it fast enough. Yes, here it is. Where is it? No, this is awkward. Where is it higher? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Now, here's the real breaking news NBA story we got to talk about. The Chicago Bulls have a new head coach, Tiago Splitter. The Portland Trail Blazers interim is now the head coach of the Chicago Bulls, baby.
Tiago Splitter. I remember him as a player, man.
Yeah, I remember him as a player. I didn't even remember the coaching, but shout out to him, I guess. So now he is going to succeed Billy Donovan. So there you go, Lurch. There's the NBA news that Sean Devaney on Friday said, hey, is that what we're going to lead with?
Yeah, I remember Devaney was saying,
I said, we'll see.
Lead with the Chicago coaching search. So. Boy, man, Jamie's doing some wild things. Like he's on the route right now. Look, we are literally getting video of the truck moving. It's like moving to the next stop, man. Look at this. We're seeing like wires,
sky,
and things. Yeah,
a lot of cloud,
sky and movement. I mean, this is a really fascinating kind of look into the daily life of a FedEx driver,
Which I do get every once in a while. Jamie will give me a screenshot of his deliveries, and it's like 1,000 or something. I'm like, what in the world? Like my brain can't comprehend the amount of work he puts in. So he's like one of the hardest working men on planet Earth. So I respect him. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason, Lurch.
Hey, Jamie, you coming back, or you just driving the truck to the next stop? What's happening? Give us the lowdown. Tell us what's happening there. We're enjoying the sky view. We're trying to figure out all kinds of cool things. We've seen some trees and some wires and so forth.
A lot of wires.
Cloudy here in central New York, which I know it is.
Oh, was that a bird? Was that a plane?
Oh, there it is. He's back.
Oh, Jamie.
Okay. Yeah, Jamie. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's FedEx guy.
Yeah, I'm back, and I take full credit for Matt from Auburn. So don't.
Okay. Oh, you'd like credit for that?
Oh, yes. So
yes, we did mention that, Jamie. I know we didn't mention it today, but Jamie was Jamie's original idea. He kind of threw out on the table the idea of maybe the spot should be given to a guy like Matt and Auburn, and I was like, wow, that actually is a really good idea. So, Jamie,
2 things here.
First off, you come up with a good idea.
Yeah, 2 things here. First off, I'm sure, Jamie, you're going to tell Matt from Auburn this when you see him at the live fantasy draft. Like, hey, you're welcome, buddy. And
I'm sure he will. Yes.
Whenever
it wasn't for me, Matt, you'd still be sitting in the Quad Cities League, pal.
Loser. Yeah, right.
So
I'm sure
when
that's exactly
when you're picking right in front of me. Just remember that. When I'm telling you, don't take
me a
player. All right, remember, you wouldn't
help
be
me
in the
trade
draft
for this
if it
guy.
wasn't for
Exactly. Right. He's definitely going to be doing that. But I will say that, so Jamie comes up with this idea, me and you marinate on it very quickly that it makes a lot of sense. And then we pick him. And sometimes, I don't know, again, I've mentioned the Seinfeld skit where George Costanza's leaving a tip in the pizza. He's at the pizza place. He's leaving a tip.
The guy doesn't look when he puts the tip
but he doesn't look. So George is like, I want him to see that I gave him a tip.
Right.
So like when he turns around and puts in, he's like, oh, I got to get it back out. Then the guy thinks he's stealing from him. And then it turns into a great bit.
Right.
And he kicks him out. Well, like, sometimes when you give someone an opportunity, right, we're choosing to give this to Matt. Like, would he be appreciative of it, or would he just go, yeah, thanks, guys, and like not care? But he did. And that's the thing that I said made it very worth it for me. He was like wait, really? Man, me? This?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And he was just losing it. So Jamie, so it's good for you to hear that on top of Manchild, that he appreciated the heck out of it. And every once in a while he's texting me saying, man, I can't wait. I can't believe I'm back in the draft, baby. Can't wait to see you guys. So he's so excited. And
we will give you credit, Jamie, but let's not override that credit. A decision still was made by the committee that had to cement that decision. So ultimately, it was a nice suggestion by you. You put it in the suggestion box. We read all the suggestions, and we liked your suggestions. Your suggestion. Therefore, we decided to implement it. So yes, we will give you some credit, but you will not get all the credit.
All right, thanks, fellas. You guys are too kind. And hey, Manchild, I already got the sticker boy secured. Zach Madiasset is going to be our sticker guy.
Great. Thank you for helping schedule these people. That's great. That makes my life a little bit easier with everything I got going on. So thanks, Jamie. Thanks for booking Zach Madiasset, our former intern.
Wow. Where'd you see Zach? Where'd you see him?
No, I did on the thread. On the thread that me, Boy Green, and Zach guy. So
he's in a text chain. We're in a group chat.
Oh, you're in a text chain. Okay.
I missed. I forgot that he.
Matty Asic is back, huh? The hockey kid back at the draft. All right,
good. He seems to enjoy it. He gets a kick out of it. He's a good personality. He's a fun time. He can sort of just. He just rolls with the punches. So no matter what happens,
you could have a hockey game that night, though. We haven't even announced the date yet, man.
That's true.
We got to get a date on the table. Like I could be out playing hockey. Plays hockey half his life. He's a hockey nut.
Now I remember.
He was like a star in the juniors, man. Like, no joking, man. Matt was
traded. He was traded once.
He got traded. Yeah, Matt was traded.
To move his life
in the Canadian Junior League.
Zach,
Matt, our intern, our former intern. I'm sorry. Zach, our former intern, was traded. Traded.
And had to move his life to this new location. That's a real story that happened. And I now remember the group chat because Jamie says, "Hey, Zach, can you be the sticker guy for the fantasy draft?" And I looked at the calendar, and it's like January or something. I'm like,
what in the world?
And Zach said, "When is it?" I'm like, "It's 8 months away, Zach. Don't worry about it." Jesus, I don't even know what it is, and I'm in the league.
You might be dead by the time we have this.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, what the? So I now remember Jamie reaching out to him. So yeah, he says he's in by. I said, "Can you check your schedule?" Yeah, I think I'm available in 8 months. I'm not exactly sure. So good Lord.
Sharon's on the train with me. Nick's dynasty has begun. Multiple emojis there. Thank you, Sharon.
That's not what the NBA would say, right? We had an 8th different champion in a row, so we'll see if they break the mold.
To be honest with you, like I know people love to get into this stuff. I don't even, let's get to the, let's get to the off season. Let's get to the beginning of the season. I'm not one of those to start chirping about, we're going back to back now. Let's see how things fall. But I will say what I said. This roster is going to stay fairly intact. Unless they decide they want to make a big trade or something, Giannis is still out there, and his wanting to come to New York is an interesting thing. But the problem is the numbers right now, and I'm talking about the mathematical numbers,
right.
The economic numbers,
right.
It's a wwonderful dream to think Giannis, a healthy Giannis, if he could stay healthy, playing for the Knicks.
See you later, Jamie.
Okay, see you, Jamie. You can drop out. Thanks, Jamie. A healthy Giannis could be part of. What the Knicks have been and continue to build here, in trying to do what teams haven't been able to do, and that's build some kind of dynasty or some at least kind of multiple champion here. And right, we haven't probably the last multiple championship. I'm going to guess off the top of my head was probably the Warriors.
Yeah,
I'm going to think. That's probably.
So are you talking about belly to belly, back to back,
or just multiple in a very short?
Really short. Golden State Warriors for sure. They were clearly that team. Yes.
So anyway, my thought is here, that. Let's just wait. Let's just see. Like, I'm not ready to talk about what they're going to do next season in a playoffs. Let's find out what the roster is first. Let's find out what other rosters are. Let's find out what the challenges are going to be. But there's no question watching this team was up for a lot of challenges, and the way they rolled through it was really, really quite incredible. It really, really was. So I don't like to get into that. Let's back to back. That's just like people being, just blowing off steam, doing things that, that we just do as fans because you just want to rub it in. I don't want to rub it in anybody's face. I'm really, really excited that after 53 years, my team has won. I don't need to rub it in people's faces that they did that. Like it took a long time to get there. Let's enjoy the moment here before we start thinking about the next moment. All right. Because it might not be for another 53 years we start chirping like some people out there doing. So I don't like Knicks fans that represent that way. Hey, a couple of things. All right. I put these down, Boy Green, because I didn't want to miss out on these incredible numbers. Okay?
Lay it on us. Yeah.
So here's some incredible numbers. All right. And some incredible thoughts I have. All right. So this is going to be a
incredible thoughts
of observations and numbers that the Manchild made while watching this year's NBA playoff/finals and the Knicks winning a championship. Okay. One of the coolest things, I want to mention this first. One of the coolest things I saw.
Okay.
And I don't know if you saw it. I know it's been out there. It's probably a viral video for a lot of people, but maybe some people still haven't seen it or weren't paying attention. Did you see what Jalen Brunson did the moment the clock struck 0
Yes, I
and
did.
the Knicks were champions? Did you see what he did?
I
Tell
did.
people what he did.
Yes. As soon as the clock hit 0, while other of his teammates were going bonkers and dogpiling
we always
each
see.
other. Of course.
Dogpiling each other, going
I'm not
crazy.
trying to shame them
anything
for
away
that.
from those people. What did Jalen Brunson do?
He went immediately over to Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson, shook his hand, and brought him in close to congratulate him or congratulate. I guess is probably the wrong word because that's a jerkish thing to do. He's not congratulating he lost, but he's just showing respect.
Right. 53 years of pain. Brunson coming to New York, joining his dad. All right, on the staff, all the stuff. He's got so many things running through his mind. And what does this young man do? He goes and shakes the hand of the opposing coach and congratulates him before he does any other celebrating. This is the moment when New York is, go look at our videos, jumping up and down, fire trucks, honking their horns. And Jalen Brunson is quietly walking over and shaking the hand of the opposing coach and saying, hey, coach, hopefully we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Good game. Loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. That encapsulates this young man and why you should go out and buy his jersey if you're a Knicks fan, over anyone else. I love a lot of players on the team, but the guy just does it the right way.
Yeah.
His 45 points in the final game of this series is the most points ever scored by a Knick in a finals. Okay, in a single game. Okay. Frazier had a phenomenal game, 37 points.
In a closeout game or just any game in the finals?
I think in any game in the finals. I think in any finals game. I think he's scored more points than anybody ever as a Knick in a finals game. Okay.
Interesting.
In the finals game. We could look where he is among the all-time greats.
Yeah.
The stat that I wrote down was he has the most points by a Knick ever in an NBA finals game. Okay. Just impressive. I mean, Frazier had a more phenomenal game statistically. I think he had 37, 19 rebounds, 19 assists, and 7 rebounds in one of the games in one of the championship seasons for the Knicks. All right. So that's really impressive stat line. But 45, most ever by a Knick in the NBA finals. They were plus 283 point differential is the most ever in playoff history in the NBA.
Wow.
So they are plus 283 above all the teams that they beat. Add up all the numbers. You won by 5, you won by 10, you won by 20. Add up all those numbers of every game in the playoffs that they won, and they were plus 283, which is the biggest point differential most ever in NBA playoff history.
It's pretty impressive.
So you want to keep saying this isn't one of the great teams. Listen to these numbers, okay? Because I know. You look at the roster. There's no Wilt Chamberlain. There's no LeBron James. There's no Michael Jordan. There's no Scottie Pippen. There's no Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's no Magic Johnson. There's no Larry Bird. I get it. But the numbers are compelling.
Okay.
They've done in the modern day of the NBA, which many would say is a harder NBA. 8 different champions in the last 8 years. It's harder. It's more competitive. And these are the numbers that they've put out. Right? We know about the 13 straight wins. So, that was the second most. Okay. The Golden State Warriors own the first. All right. But second most ever in playoff history, 13 straight wins, 9 straight road wins. I didn't get where that ranks, but it has to be among the greats, if not number 1. 9 straight road wins in the playoffs, including 3 in the finals. 3 of the 4 games that they won in the NBA finals were on the road.
That's crazy.
On the road. Okay. In what many would say is one of the toughest environments in the NBA, San Antonio.
Sure.
All right. This one's amazing. This is amazing.
Okay.
13 wins where they overcame a 20-point.
That can't be. It's the craziest stat I've ever heard.
I was blending two things there. Sorry. I had two things in the same sentence there, and I didn't mean to. That's me typing on my stupid.
I know. I was about to say that is the most insane statistic I've ever heard.
No, they overcame a 20-point deficit 4 times in the NBA Finals,
which is still incredible.
Incredible. That's 4 times in 5 games.
Wow.
They overcame a 20-point or more deficit in the finals. In the finals alone, just the finals. All right.
Well, okay. While you're there, I want to throw an amazing stat at you, Lord. At first, it's going to start as a trivia question.
Okay.
But it's like probably an impossible trivia question. You would only know this if you saw it. So it's sort of a gut feel. Okay.
Okay.
5 games were the NBA Finals. Okay. I'm going to ask for a percentage. How often do you think across the 5 final games did the Knicks lead?
Like total minutes? Is it some
minutes?
Okay.
Yeah,
how many minutes?
We'll do it. Yeah.
Across 5 games, were the Knicks actually leading the Spurs? Ooh,
yes.
This is a fascinating question. I don't want to go too high. I don't want to go too low. I want to try and hit this one. I don't know. I have no idea. I did not catch this anywhere,
great.
So I'm not going to be able to steal this from something I watched or saw.
All right. Okay.
We got 48 minutes in a game. None of the games went overtime.
Yep. Right.
5 games.
Yep.
So let's just say 50 times 5 is 200. So about 250 total minutes.
Okay. But again, I'm looking for a percentage.
I understand. So, percentage. Yep. Percentage.
Yeah, it's a percentage, but you can still figure it out from how you're doing it. But yes.
I thought you wanted me to give you actual minutes. All right.
No.
Percentage. Right.
So percentage.
What percent of the time were the Knicks actually leading in the finals over the course of 5 games?
Yeah.
10%.
Okay. Yeah, that's way too much. That's too low. That's way too low.
All right.
But here is the.
Why not get dramatic?
But this number is crazy.
Why not? Okay, go ahead.
So shout out to Ryan Phillips, one of the craziest sports stats you may have ever seen. The Spurs led the finals 72% of the time.
So it's 28.
They lost in 5 games. So only 28% of the time did the Knicks leading the Spurs. And they beat them 4-1.
Yeah.
So there's all these Spurs fans showing this statistic saying, look, see, we should have beat them in 4 and all these other things. But it is just good. I mean, that's a nuts statistic. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see a super chat, and you want to jump over to the super chat first?
Yes, I wanted to make sure you didn't have any more Knicks, but
yeah, go ahead. It's all right. We can still go back to it.
Okay, here we go, Mac.
Hell yeah!
Is this enough, Lurch, to crack it up?
I'm always up for a video. How about let's go with this one? I always love to play videos. I like this one.
The price is wrong, bitch.
That's a great look, Chef. Bob Barker.
Thanks, Mac. We'll give you a raffle ticket for that too, even though you didn't make the $3 fresh.
Yes, that is added. I have that added on there. All right, perfect.
So, Mac, you're in for another raffle ticket.
Okay.
So again, raffle will go through next Monday. So you got today and Wednesday's live show, and then we will draw that raffle winner live on the air on Monday.
Or, again, if you guys use PayPal or Venmo, you guys can hit us up in non-show hours. Just make sure you descript to Lurch and say, hey, because like your username on Venmo could be something else. Your username here could be different. Just make sure you're descriptive, whoever you are. Hey, I'm T-Town Jet. I'm looking for 5. And you could do it on a Tuesday night or something like tomorrow. But it could go through it. So you don't have to use the show. The show is the best place to do it, but you can use it in PayPal or Venmo. So make sure you guys take full advantage here over the next week.
Yeah, T-Town always does that. He always lets me know it's him. And I'm like, there we go, T-Town.
Okay, perfect.
Pops up on my computer and on my phone.
Add it in.
So Venmo, and then the money comes directly to the show. So you can do that. That's a convenience. It's at MC Show Digital on either PayPal or Venmo. And again, we will accrue anything that you send us there into raffle tickets as well. Of course. Monthly raffle, which again, folks, we draw on the 22nd of every month. It just happens to be my lucky number. All right. So always on the 22nd, and the 22nd this month will fall a week from today on Monday. So you have until then to get your raffle tickets. And then we've got the 5 prizes. Again, the MC Show Digital 12th Manchild etched glass, the 2 golf hats, Titleist and Cleveland in honor of Father's Day, and the U.S. Open, which is this week. All right. The autographed
Muhammad Ali.
By Angelo Dundee and Burt Randolph Sugar, and then finally the Muhammad Ali iconic poster, tin poster, very, very cool.
And just to make sure I'm saying this correctly, Lurch, they need to get those raffle tickets in before we start the show on Monday.
Correct, before Monday's show. That's correct.
Yes,
because we're going to draw it on Monday.
There you go. So keep that in mind.
Monday. Got another raffle on Monday.
Yes.
All right. We'll gather up our next group of prizes.
There we go. Which will be fun. It's doing that every month. So, Mac, your question is, who will be the breakout star for the Jets and Giants? Well, I'll say it for the Jets side, and Lurch can say it for the Giants side of who he thinks his breakout is going to be. Who is the breakout star? Now, to me, I don't think a rookie can be a breakout. Breaking up from what? They're a rookie. So, to me, it has to be a player that's at least in their second year,
right?
To break out. And I would say a player that is set to break out, and not a big name player because like they have already broken out. I'm making up all these rules for what they have to be. I mean, the name that comes to mind, and just there's been a lot of buzz about him at OTAs, has to be Adonai Mitchell, the wide receiver the Jets traded for from the Indianapolis Colts. He seems to be building up chemistry with Geno Smith. He is a vertical threat. Geno Smith loves throwing the ball down the field. To me, I think this is that sort of perfect combination of that, and the Jets are very high on him as well. So I think Adonai Mitchell is going to be that breakout for the Jets, and we'll see what those numbers end up looking like. He has a chance to be the number 2 receiver. He's going to have other competition. Omar Cooper Jr., the rookie, is behind him as well, first rounder. But yeah, I'll go Adonai Mitchell. Lurch,
Right,
what about for the
Mitchell
Giants?
For Boy Green. I mean, for the Giants, I mean, again, like I really have high hopes for Arvell Reese, but like you said, I'm not going to pick a rookie because how can a rookie be a breakout star when he hasn't even played a single down? You know, we could talk about that next year potentially as a breakout guy. So, but I really have high hopes. Again, these mini camps, you know, OTAs, no pads, the way that they go about it, it's easy for a guy that's a physical specimen like him to really stand out. But I honestly do think he's going to stand out. I think he was the best defensive player in this draft, and I think the Giants got incredibly lucky that he fell to them. And I think he's going to pay off in a big, big way. And they really needed somebody in the middle of that defense to do damage. And I think he's going to be the right recipe. So I'm really, really have high hopes for him, but he can't be the breakout guy. For the Giants, it has to be one guy. It has to be. It has to be Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter has to be the breakout guy for the Giants this year. All right. He has to. They
I got banged up recently too.
Yeah, no, it's not a big deal. He twisted his ankle. It's okay.
Okay.
He's going to be fine. All right. Nothing serious, no operation, nothing like that.
Okay, good.
But he did hurt his ankle in camp, in the mini camp or the OTA. Was the OTA or the mini? I think it was the mini camp.
Well,
so
camp,
yeah, because they just finished up their mini camp. So anyway, thought here, is that Carter has to be what they thought he was going to be. Okay, he cannot be another Evan Neal. Okay, he turns into Evan Neal on the defensive side. This becomes another, like, it sets the Giants back. Maybe a couple of years at that position, which is not good. All right. Now Reese could help propel them forward in some other way, even though he's playing the linebacker. They can use him in different ways. But the fact of the matter is, they need Carter to be what they thought Carter was going to be, and what everybody thought Carter was going to be, because everybody wanted him. He was the top defensive player taken, and there was a reason, and everybody was salivating over him, and the Giants got him. He needs to turn into a genuine, bona fide, terror off the edge. And all signs are that he's growing up, that John Harbaugh is helping him grow up. I know he's been in the news. I know there've been the rub with Jackson Dart, and there've been some things, but I care about what he's doing on the field, and everything I'm hearing about what he's doing on the field so far, and what he's doing, in terms of showing up to meetings and all the things that are necessary, seem to be in line. So it seems like that discipline thing is sinking in here. So hopefully Abdul Carter, he has to be the breakout star for the Giants and the Jets. Now he has to be. Is he the guy I'm picking? I don't know, man. He makes me nervous, to be honest with you. So he has to be the guy. I think for us to have a significantly improved year, he needs to be a piece of that puzzle. But
what is Jackson Dart, just low-hanging fruit?
It is. I mean, my answer would be, if I get to pick, then I pick Dart, and just say it's going to be Jackson Dart.
But of course, your quarterback.
We found out last year he could potentially be a franchise quarterback. This year we find out he is a franchise quarterback. Because I think it's still on the precipice. I think we're still wobbling a little bit.
It looks
he's not
good. Joe Burrow.
He shows good instincts. He's got There's just there are things that he's already done with very modest-ish numbers last year that indicate, there are good indicators that he's ready to take another step, and he will be a franchise. But this would be the year where he could be the franchise.
Sure.
So if I got to pick a guy, I'm picking Jackson Dart, because I have way more faith in him than I do Abdul Carter. But I think Abdul Carter would be ideal for the Giants if he took a big leap. Right. Yeah. So there you go. Double-edged sword.
Thank you, Mac.
Yeah.
Great,
right.
great
Good
super
question,
chat. Which
Mac.
again,
Really made me
guys,
think. Made me think a lot there.
Yeah.
Very
which
good.
Again, if you guys ever want to, that's a cool way to get raffle tickets. Is you get an engaging question or comment that you're thinking of in your head, you super chat it in, get some raffle tickets,
and we're going to get
inspire
to
some cool conversation, of course. So thank you.
Anybody
Matt.
that pops up a super chat, we're absolutely going to get to you as soon as we possibly did, as we just did there with Matt. So that always helps move you to the front of the line, and it gives us a little focus towards answering your question. So great question, Mac, and thank you again for the super chat. And you got yourself another raffle ticket. Good luck, although you are up against a monster so far this month. Our boy.
But you got a chance with one.
T-Town wants it, baby. But you got to be in it to win it, baby. You got to be in it to win it. So go as hard as you can, folks, on the raffle. All right, back to the Knicks for a minute. A couple more things. All right, these are not stats. Now I just want to talk about Jalen Brunson for a minute. Okay.
All right.
I've been watching some stuff in the last few days, even leading up to the Knicks doing this, and now that the Knicks have done it. But particularly once the Knicks won it, people across the television world or across the internet world as well were running clips. All right. Stephen A. Smith saying, Jalen Brunson when he was signed. I'm talking about when he was signed by the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, this is our big signing. We're signing him for how much? Okay, Stephen A., as you know, diehard Knicks fan, going off on that. Brian Windhorst, all right, who's again a huge, NBA guy. We grab a lot of information that sometimes we bring to the airways, coming straight from Windy. He ripped Brunson essentially when Knicks got him. There was a conversation in Nick Wright's show where Nick Wright and then one of his co-hosts were ripping Brunson, saying he's not even one of the top 10 point guards in all of basketball.
I remember that.
When the Knicks got him. Yeah. So the internet has been going after, dare I say, and rightly so, frankly, the doubters. Okay, right. Those that now have jumped on the Jalen Brunson bandwagon, now calling him a great point guard and one of the greatest Knicks, and they're comparing him to Willis Reed and Walt Clyde Frazier and other great Knicks. Okay, now where were you back then when the Knicks got Brunson and you're saying this was a bad deal? The Knicks paid too much, and he's not even that good a player. No wonder Dallas didn't even offer him a contract. And look, that's what happens in the hot take world. And here's what I'm here to say, Boy Green, and this is not about me being right or me thumping my own chest. It's just about me being real to what I feel like I've always been and what you get if you come to this show, at least in terms of what I deliver every day, all right? Mm-hmm. And it's this. I like to be measured. I like to be more journalistic based. Okay. I went to a very esteemed journalism school, the great Newhouse School at Syracuse University. And dare I say, when I was in those classrooms, I learned a few things from my professors. I learned a few things from my early formative years of covering sports at Channel 9 TV right here in Syracuse and covering the Syracuse Orange football and basketball and lacrosse teams and the baseball, minor league baseball and minor league hockey team here. Right. And I've had a good life. I've had a wonderful opportunity to interview some really world famous people. Some of them local Syracusans in some way, and some of them well beyond local. All right. I look back at my career that I've had so far that continues right now. And I say, like, I've really been lucky. I've had a lot of great things. But one of the things I've always prided myself in, and I know you and I have talked about this a lot on the air, is just that I can give a hot take. Sure. You could ask me for one and I'll give a hot take. I guess I just gave one there. Abdul Carter needs to be the best guy. I could have done the low hanging fruit. All right. That's a hot take. Okay. But I don't specialize in hot takes, okay? I think hot takes are designed to get clicks. And I understand in this digital world, that's a wonderful thing. And maybe I should do more of that in this digital world. But I like to be thoughtful. I like to have as what we call, I'll say this time and time again, informed opinion, okay? Mm-hmm. I like to have informed opinion, all right? And I was going back through my mind's eye as I was watching all these clips, across the internet and across some of the TV shows of these brilliant NBA minds, poo-pooing the idea of Jalen Brunson coming to New York, because we all know what it's turned into. The guy literally led him to the championship. He's the captain of the team and is the MVP of the finals. All right. And I was trying to go back and remember what I said. And here's to the best of my recollection, what I recall saying. I remember saying, this is an interesting signing. The guy, number one, I'm really excited about this for this reason. All right. Sounds like a lot of money at this point because he hasn't been a starter. He's primarily been a guy coming off the bench because he was picked with Doncic. It was him and Doncic were picked in the same draft. You mentioned it last week.
Brunson was 33rd overall
by Dallas. All right. So Doncic was the starting point guard. Brunson was a guy coming off the bench. Right. All right. That was trying to help and assist. And then the Mavericks started to discover, hey, this guy coming off the bench, he's got some pop. He could score a little bit. So I don't know why Dallas never offered him another contract. I guess they just thought they were fine with Luka, and obviously that didn't turn out so good. All right, so they could let him go, and it was a gift to the gods that the Knicks got him. It was an absolute gift to the gods. We don't have this championship if that all doesn't
clearly
happen.
not right. Yes,
but I remember again talking about that contract, saying I certainly said, "Wow, it seems like a lot of money for a guy that was a backup," but within that conversation, I know I said this, okay, because I've said this time and time again about the Knicks. We, since the days of Walt Clyde Frazier, have been an absolute train wreck. You know, think of the worst word that you can think of, all right, that a team and a position have a relationship with. And that's the point guard position and the New York Knicks, okay? I've endured the likes of guys who weren't even point guards trying to play point guard, like Doc Rivers coming in there, Derek Harper, who came over as an old man from the Dallas Mavericks years ago. I mean, just they have tried. Charlie Ward, the Heisman Trophy winner in football, being our point guard for a while. And some of these guys have done a decent job. But since Walt Clyde Frazier, in all honesty, the New York Knicks have not had a great point guard. There have some decent guys, some good guys, and some really bad guys. Okay.
Sure.
It's been a position that they were searching for years and years, when the late 70s Knicks, the 80s Knicks, into the 90s Knicks, trying to find the point guard.
Even in the 2000s, I remember us debating on the radio show.
Totally.
Geez, can they find a point guard?
Can they find a damn point guard? It has been there. It's like their holy grail. They've been searching for the holy grail, and they've got clue after clue after clue, and they can't find a holy grail, right? And along comes Jalen Brunson, kind of, understated. Knick fans, his dad Brick played on the team for a while. He was okay, all right, his numbers aren't too bad in Dallas, but he was the backup over there. I don't know. Could he be a thing? Wow, we're paying him over $100 million over the course of several years. Yeah. Boy, I hope he's good. And I just remember saying, like, look, folks, we've been searching for a point guard forever. If Jalen Brunson lands, I mean, think of what we'll have. We'll have the Holy Grail. We'll have the Holy Grail. And so I'm not saying I'm some great prognosticator, because I didn't go on the air and hot take it up and say Jalen Brunson is going to be the next great point guard. Jalen Brunson is going to be the next Walt Clyde Frazier. Jalen Brunson is going to lead us to a championship. I didn't say any of those things. So I'm not out here to tell you, I'm the greatest, smartest guy in the world. I'm just telling you, I didn't do what Stephen A. did. I didn't do what Nick Wright did. I didn't do what what Windhorst did and other great minds in the name of basketball. I'm not trying to just strictly point those guys out. A lot of people did it. Okay. I instead decided to be informed opinion. I decided that I didn't know enough about Jalen Brunson yet to offer a hot take about the Knicks were wasting their money. Okay. And now it's turned out to arguably be, and we can make this argument today or start a whole nother show and do this. Is he the greatest free agent signing in the history of the NBA because of what he's now done? Right. I understand. It's crazy. Right. This is hot talk take. We're in hot talk land. But, there are people today making that case, Boy Green, that are going to say he's the greatest free agent signing in the history of the NBA. Free agent signing. Because look at what he's done. In 2 years, okay, he's brought a championship to a place that hasn't had a championship in 53 years.
Like, okay, here's a random example off the top of my head, because this is the first I've heard of this talk.
Yes, that's been a lot. Knick fans are nuts, as you know. We're nuts. We're absolutely nuts.
This is simply off the top of my head, okay, because I haven't vetted this. I haven't, let me look through the history of the NBA and free agency. Kevin Durant went to the Warriors and won 2 NBA finals and 2 championships as a free agent. How... whoa, I get it, and this is certainly, this person I just referenced is a specific combination for what I'm talking about, that not all championships are created equal. A Knicks championship after 53 years is different than another championship in a place where they have done winning. So that's debate land.
Sure.
But off the top of my head, he went there and won 2 NBA finals MVPs and 2 NBA championships. And that's off the top of my dome. Who knows what I'm going to find if I start really digging around. I don't know.
I agree,
seems a little eccentric.
It's a crazy Knicks dog. I mean, Knicks fans love to get crazy about stuff like that. But he clearly was a phenomenal signing. He's the greatest bargain in basketball right now.
He took that discount, right?
The Knicks are going to have to give him a fat raise, and I don't know when they're going to do that, whether they're going to do that immediately or whether they're going to sit down with him and discuss how they can do that without, taking a sledgehammer to the cap and the aprons and all of the nonsense. Maybe there's ways that they could structure the deal that would get them the money, but do it in a way that wouldn't destroy them financially, so that they would have to actually let good players go, because Jalen would love to win multiple championships. What player in the NBA wouldn't? And in order to do that, you got to try to keep a roster somewhat together, and you got to have flexibility in your roster so you can make moves at the trade deadline like the Knicks were able to this year. I mean, that addition of Alvarado, I just use him as a sole example. There were other little moves that they made, was huge. That keeping Landry Shamet as the last player on the roster when it looked like they were just going to let him walk, and then Shamet agreed to it, just a terrible, awful deal that paid him very little for what the service they gave. I mean, if they're going to keep Shamet, they're going to have to give him a raise. Okay, he's up too. Him and Robinson are the two guys that are up. I think I mentioned that at the beginning of this conversation. So anyway, there were a lot of people that ripped the Brunson thing, and it's fine to go back and play the videotape and hold these people accountable, and it's cool.
It is funny to go back and see that stuff.
I also want to say that understand the world they work in, and this is what they're asked to do every day. They're asked every day to get on the air and give hot takes.
So you've forgiven them?
I forgive them totally. I totally forgive them. Okay. All right. I'm not going to. Yeah, I totally forgive them. Stephen A is asked to go on the air every day and go crazy with hot takes. I'm glad that I'm not ordered by anybody to come on these airwaves and give hot takes. Sometimes I have. Sometimes I'm passionate about something and I'll give a hot take, but I don't go out of my way every day to plan. Okay, I got 5 hot takes today, Boy Green. What are your 5?
Right.
Yes, let's get it together here before our pre-production. Let's get our 5 hot takes of the day together because we got to plan this show out and we got to hot take ourselves to death because otherwise we won't get clicks. I just don't live my life that way, and I consider myself again part journalist, part talk show host. I understand there's plenty of opinion in the talk world, but I also, again, like for my opinion to be informed. And I'm never scared to say, I don't know, or I need to look into that more before I make a decision. Let me think about that. And let me, they're asked today. You got to do it today. You got to deliver a hot take today. And they do. And then they say things like Jalen Brunson stinks. Jalen Brunson is the worst signing. Jalen Brunson is not worth the money. Jalen Brunson is not even a 10th best point guard. And the Knicks are paying him that. And all those guys, those guys said those crazy things. Why? Because they're asked every day to deliver hot takes. So yes, you guys are totally forgiven. I'm not taking you out to the woodshed here, my little YouTube channel. What I'm saying is I like informed journalism better, and that's the way I operate. So that's what you're going to get, folks, when you listen to me on this program forevermore. You'll get a hot take here or there, but you're not going to get a series of hot takes, and then you can go back and roll the videotape on me and go, oh, Lurch, what was that? What was that? I'll hammer myself when I get things wrong. I have no problem at all. So, some of those giant egos, they don't hammer themselves. They don't run back their own clips and go, hey, I really blew that one. Not too many people in the hosting world do that.
Lurch, I will not bring up yours. I will not bring up yours.
Please don't. But I've brought it up a million times. I've brought it up a million times.
That's about as bad as it gets.
I've brought it up a million times. I'm not bringing it up again today.
Don't. I'm not asking. I'm not asking. I'm just saying.
That was a ridiculous hot take.
If you know, you know.
One of the stupidest things I've ever said. And I will call myself stupid for saying it.
That's fair.
We all live, we all have skeletons in our closet. We all have the temple. We all can live in the temple of regret from time to time. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out there because there were a lot of people that thought this Jalen Brunson thing was terrible, and it wasn't. All right, a couple of other things I wrote down here. I just want to get these things in.
Yeah.
All right. So again, on Brunson. All right. Well, and on the team. So Brunson, by the way, on his deal, I just want to finish up on Brunson. Brunson's deal, by the way, was a 4-year, $156.6 million extension with New York in 2024. That was after the original when they like made the fine-tuned the deal. Okay. All right. So
that's when he took the pay cut or no?
Yes, that's when he took the pay cut. All right.
Okay.
4 years, 156.6. Okay. And that was in 2024, which is 113 million less than he would have been eligible
there
for.
There it is. That's what I was going to say. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So he left $113 million potentially on the table. Okay. That's what Jalen Brunson did to build a good roster.
Which obviously changed the team roster.
Not only does the guy shake hands with the opposing coach at the end of the greatest game in the history that he's ever had in the most key moment. All right. But he also took $113 million less than he needed to. That's enough for anybody to want to love a guy. Okay. So that they could have the roster they have. Okay. They would not have the roster they have if he takes all the money. They wouldn't.
Right.
They'd be missing. They'd have holes all over this roster, and they probably are not NBA champions because it took every one of these guys on this roster to win this year's championship. And here's an interesting one I caught this morning that I thought was fascinating.
Okay.
All 5 Knicks starters in the NBA Finals, all 5 starters on this Knicks team were drafted elsewhere.
I did. I heard the unique construction. Shout out to Leon
I have
Rose.
talked about this forever. The Knicks are one of the worst drafting franchises in the history of the NBA. I hope that changes and improves at some point.
It's going to be hard to get worse, I guess.
But they're among the worst, if not the worst. They are a terrible drafting team. But I would say this about this particular team.
Awareness?
Let's not forget. Okay. They have 5 starters that all came from other places. So basically 5 free agents.
Hired mercenaries.
5 hired mercenaries with the 5 stars. They did draft Mitchell Robinson in the 2nd round. Okay. And he has turned out to be quite the bargain considering where they drafted him and what people knew about Mitchell Robinson going into that draft. So I got to give him credit for that one. Bing! Okay, they get one there for all the bad ones, the Gerard Mustafs of the world. Okay, the Kevin Knoxes of the world. Okay, Frank Ntilikina. The list is unbelievable. All right, the graveyard of players that never made it in the NBA is filled with Knicks draft choices. Okay, so
forgot to give you this one. Here
that's credit one. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. That's number one. The second piece of this, where again, draft capital, got them something, or not draft picks, not draft capital. Draft picks got them something. Remember, they did draft R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, two guys that they used in their trade that were the primary guys in their trade to bring OG Anunoby from Toronto to the Knicks. And those two guys went to Toronto. They both still play there now. Both play. Barrett starts. I think Quickly comes off the bench. Sometimes he starts. They're both good players. The Knicks did draft those two good players as well, but sent them off in order to bring back OG. But we all know how important OG was, Or do I have to tell you again about the tip?
I mean, pivotal.
Without the tip, we may not even be champions. So they have, as poorly as they've drafted, taken some of those smarter picks, dare I say, and done some things with them again to help piece this roster together. So I won't give any credit to the owner because, and again, I wish he wouldn't have had to speak on that podium and be up there. James Dolan was up there and did.
I remember that. Yeah.
Say it's been too long. Sorry for the wait. Yeah, James. Well, you were half
hopefully
the reason.
The next one isn't as long.
We still think you suck as an owner. We still wish you would sell the team now, please. I know the players can't say that, and the coaches can't say that, and the front office people who work under you that get a paycheck from you can't say that. But I can. You don't pay me. You suck. You are still among the worst owners in the history of the NBA, and you forever will be. Period. End of sentence. Want a hot take? There's one for you, folks. It doesn't change anything that they won a championship. All right.
So are you giving them credit for, so they're, I was about to swear. Well, we can on the internet, but I prefer not to.
Mm-hmm.
They're a crappy drafting team. Did they realize that and say, you know what? Instead of just flushing all these picks down the toilet, which we suck at, why don't we combine all of these resources and assets to get players in a unique roster construction way? If I'm Leon Rose, I say, hey, if I suck at this, maybe I'll be better at this.
Right.
And then that leads to a championship. Are you giving them credit for awareness? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely. And Leon Rose is the architect of this team and deserves the credit for it. He has been the guy. Now, Dolan had to get out of the way in order to let Rose do this. And I will give Dolan one thing. I don't give him much.
Let me hear it.
I find him to be annoying. I wish he would stay away from microphones and cameras. I wish he wouldn't talk about the team if possible.
What about his jazz career?
What the heck am I going to do? He pays the players. I guess you have to hear from him one way or the other.
But what about the jazz career? Do you give him any credit for that?
He's got a blues band, not the jazz.
Okay. Do you give him credit for that?
No. But I'll give him credit for this. The word on the street was, and we talked a lot with Devaney about this over the course of last year.
Right.
When the Knicks decided to fire Tom Thibodeau and hire Mike Brown. And it hasn't really still ultimately gone totally public, but most trustworthy insiders that we've talked to, including our pal Sean Devaney, have said that they firmly believe that James Dolan was ultimately the reason why the Knicks hosed Thibodeau out and brought Brown in. That he demanded from Leon Rose in the front office that we need a coach who's more flexible. We need a coach who coaches offense as well as defense. We need a coach to bring this group together. I think we have the guys to win a championship. Tibbs has done a wonderful job getting them to this point, but he's running them into the ground. He's not a good substitution guy. He's always going to be defense first. And in order to win in today's NBA, we need both.
Yeah.
So we love him, but we can't love him anymore if we want to try to do this. And if indeed, as our insiders and many of them, including our pal Sean Devaney, have said, that James Dolan was the reason that domino fell, then he at least does deserve credit for that. That's the one piece of credit I'll give him. If he indeed was behind that, and all signs are and indications are that he was, then he does deserve credit because the change in coaching.
They don't win a championship without that switch.
They don't. I honestly don't think they do. I mean, it certainly, or would have looked very differently. Let's put it that way. Right. I mean, if Tibbs could have gotten them over the top, it's impossible to say Tibbs wouldn't have. But I think
that's true,
the team wouldn't have done it this way.
Definitely.
And what I loved about the way that Brown did it was he was the ultimate collaborator.
Yep.
He did not run his players into the ground. He
adapted.
used that bench. And by using that bench, and by the Knicks even getting him some extra pieces at the trade deadline, again, credit to Leon Rose and ownership, all right, Brown had more options. He had more ways to go. Who would have thought, really, at the beginning of any of this, that the Knicks would have been playing the Spurs in the finals and that Jose Alvarado would have been called upon in critical moments of critical games in the NBA Finals? And not because anybody got hurt, just on the merits of his play and what he could do for this Knicks offense and how he could perhaps take some pressure off of Brunson, put another ball handler out there, and create havoc in the ways that he does. There clearly are better players on this Knicks roster than Jose Alvarado. But Jose Alvarado was the right guy at the right time in the right moment, and Brown had that button to push. And Tibbs is just, his history says it. There's no reason to think. Tibbs would have played it differently. He would have just put Josh Hart out there for 46 minutes, 45 minutes. He would have just left Brunson out there for most of the game without pulling him multiple times in the game and giving him proper rest, because that's the way that Tibbs coached offense. He just wouldn't take his players off the field. Dare I say, a little Jim Boeheim in him. Boeheim always would narrow that rotation in the NCAA tournament to like 6 or 7 guys. Like, what about all the other guys? There's guys on that bench that could give you something. No, we only play the best guys. And that was Tibbs' thing too. He is of the same ilk, and Brown isn't. Brown just got the trust of the players, and he said, we're just going to play the right guys at the right time. And everybody, you're going to, sometimes you're not going to be in there at the end of the game. Mikal, sorry, we're going to sit you out today. You just don't have the touch him. But, Landry's getting it done here. We're going to play Landry here. There's more flexibility with Jose. So sorry, Deuce McBride, who's done a lot more in a Knicks jersey, certainly, than Alvarado ever has. Okay. Deuce, we really actually need to keep you on the sideline here because this works better. And the players trusted him and let him do it. So Mike Brown was the right guy. I know I was not in huge favor, but I also wasn't like, Mike Brown's the worst hire. What are the Knicks doing? Hot take, which I'm sure some guys did do. I said, I'm not in love with it, but, he's got, look at the numbers. He's got some experience. There are some reasons here to say maybe he's going to do this differently. Maybe it's going to work. Maybe we got to trust in ownership. Maybe we got to trust in management. They've done pretty well so far. Maybe they're going to get us to the promised land with this guy. And they did again. And that's why informed opinion is better than hot takes. Okay. It was an easy, low-hanging fruit hot take to say Mike Brown sucks. Mike Brown's not going to do this. Tibbs brought him to here, and now they're going to take a wrecking ball to it. And here's the Knicks being the Knicks. Okay. Part of me was thinking that, but I didn't let that emotion take over and give a stupid hot take because Mike Brown was the right guy for the job. The championship obviously proves it. So kudos to Knicks ownership. Kudos particularly to Leon Rose, who really did piece this thing together. And now we have a championship, and let's see if we can go get some more. It's going to be fascinating.
That's exciting.
Are you ready for some champagne, my friend?
No, but
you're not, but I am.
Guess.
All right. So we're going to end the show with a champagne celebration. I'm going to just go dark here for a second, BJ. I just got to get a towel and some equipment here. So just stand by a moment as I prepare the champagne. Say whatever you want. Go ahead.
Yes, for those who've missed it, I'll give some of the context here for people that may be tuning in right now. We have 200 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, the MC Show Digital channel, or on my Twitter, when we did the radio show, which had been on air for 25 years up until last summer, where now we've gone digital, we've had many interns over that time, and I was an internship coordinator of sorts for our radio show, and one of our interns' name is Rob Finger. And when he left our internship, normally we give a gift to the interns, not the other way around. But he bestowed upon us a gift, and mine's back here. It's still in the box. And it was a bottle of champagne, the official champagne of the NBA. And on it, it says, only drink in victory. And basically the bet that was made as he handed us this gift is if one of our teams won a championship, we could pop the bubbly and get all excitable and all those sorts of things. And the deal was our two main teams, which for me are the New York Jets, as all of you guys know. And for some of you that don't know, are the Boston Celtics. For Lurch, it was the New York Giants. That hasn't happened, but it did happen, in fact, for his New York Knicks. So Lurch has won the bet. He gets to pop the bubbly. Hopefully I'll still get to open mine one day, but it won't have the same juice because, well, Lurch will have already since popped his and drank all of his. But
yeah,
that's
exactly. But you will, and you see it's right here on the box. All right, to Jim the Manchild Lurch. Yeah. Drink only in victory.
There you go.
All right. And by the way, on my way, and from Rob Finger, our former intern.
Yep, our intern.
I called Rob, by the way. I decided, let me do
to
this.
let him know. Yeah, sure.
I called him yesterday on my way back from Boston. All right. And I said, hey, Rob, I don't know if you realize he, of course, he did right away. He said, yes, I know. And so I called Rob on my route home last night. And Rob indeed did say to me that he was very, very happy about it. He said, boy, if I had just given you guys the champagne bottles just like a couple of months before that, Boy Green would have been sipping from the nectar because the Celtics had won. But it was at the end of his interview. It was appropriately done. And it was a good, I honestly think, I know I've won the bet, but so what? I mean, it was a good thing to like have us out here.
Yes.
And I think, it's almost kind of sweeter that it's the Knicks who haven't run it in 53. And I hope that you get to pop yours someday.
Yes.
And when you do, I hope it's the Jets, because it's been so long. And I think that would be the ultimate kind of cool thing for the two of us. I mean, the Giants, I know they haven't been good lately, but they have won some championships fairly recently.
Right.
So it's not like incredible like the Knicks is. So the fact that it's the Knicks makes it even sweeter because I just didn't think that was really going to be the team that was going to get me to pop this bottle of champagne. All right. So I did talk to Rob. Rob was excited about it, and I chatted with him quite a bit, and he sent his regards to you as well, Boy Green. Tell Paul, maybe someday he'll get to pop his. But the whole thing was who's going to get to do it first, and I get to do it first. All right, so let's properly open a champagne bottle. Let's start with that. As I said.
Okay, let's go.
So I've got a towel here, BG. Got a towel. All right, I'm pulling it out.
I don't think I've ever been around someone opening one of these before.
So wonderful. So I'm putting my former waiter skills to.
Yes, that's right.
First thing is you got to get the foil off. So I'm just right now just ripping this foil that comes across the top of a champagne bottle.
Beautiful.
All right, and then once you rip the foil off, you see underneath it on any champagne, any good champagne bottle. All right, you're going to see what we call a cage. I think they call it the cage. All right. And on one of the corners of the cage, I can kind of see it here in the video. There's like a little thing that you pull down and pop out. It's a little tab almost. See that thing? Look at that sucker.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yeah.
I popped it out. What you do with that is you untwist it. All right. Counterclockwise, and it loosens the cage. And the reason they have like a protective cage on a champagne bottle, and notice I'm not putting
bring it back into shot here, Lurch.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the reason I'm pointing it kind of away from myself here is because champagne corks are designed to fly. They're designed to pop. Okay. And if you could have a champagne cork that, dare I say, even though it's sealed, gets a little loose, and then you loosen the cage and it could pop out. So you don't want to be aiming it at anyone. So once you open this thing up and loosen the cage, I'm about to lift it and pull it off, right? You don't want to be pointing it at your face. And now the cage is removed. See, it's off the bottom. All right. Very, very simple art. Okay. Now here's the trick that I think most people wouldn't know because you're just trying to get the cork out of the bottle, right? Yeah. This is how you properly remove a champagne cork from champagne. So hopefully you learned something today. All right. All right. So you just want to make sure the bottle's not soaking wet while you're grabbing it because you're going to actually grip the bottle. You put your one hand, your thumb like this on the cork. And what you do, or I'm going to do it this way. This is the proper way. So I'm going to turn this direction.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay.
You see me? All right. So I'm going to hold the cork with this hand. Don't twist the cork. You twist the bottle. So you hold the cork and you twist the bottle. And you're going to hear the pop in just a minute. I already feel it coming loose. Boom.
Wow, that great sound.
All right. And look, no damage. I've got the cork in my hand. Now, you cannot recork a champagne bottle, okay? So once champagne is open, you got to drink it.
That's how tight it was, yeah.
That's it. It's expandable. So it's in there. And then the pressure of the bubbles, when you turn the bottle, you just hold the cork, turn the bottle, and you saw how smoothly I pulled that out of there, right?
Quite.
Okay, so again, learn from my French restaurant days. And then,
there's got to be a pouring technique to this too, I imagine.
Yeah, just like anything else, you just put it over the bottle and pour it. I mean, you could see all the suds. I mean, you're not really stopping suds all that much in champagne.
Oh, so the angle,
but they settle very quickly.
So the angle thing is not important for champagne.
I don't really think so. I mean, you can try and pour it off the edge of the glass like you sometimes do with beer in order to minimize the head. See, I'm doing that a little bit there. But champagne is not like beer. That head will not stay there. It will immediately dissipate. All right. And now you have your wonderful champagne in your wonderful champagne flute. All right. And to all of you out there, all of you Knick fans, this one's for you, Boy Green, Rob Finger, for all of you Knick fans, 53 years in the making. Rob, thank you for the champagne to celebrate this moment live on the air. Cheers, everybody, or Probst to those in Austria. Enjoy, my friends.
There we go. Let's get a nice sip of that. Beautiful. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, sure.
Oh, excellent. Woo! All right. Great. So as soon as we sign off, which will be another minute or two here, I'm going to take the rest of that champagne bottle outside on my deck.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my goggles on. and I'm going to shoot. I might have somebody out there. I think I'm going to grab my wife.
Record it. Yeah.
I'm going to have her record it. I'm going to spray myself down in champagne and do the victory dance that I didn't get to do because I was sitting at that Airbnb quietly in the kitchen going, oh my God, my team is on the champagne.
Oh, you've been holding it in. So you've been holding it in like that champagne bottle.
So imagine how wild it could get, right?
So you're about to uncork your own champagne bottle that's been building up.
That's correct. That's correct. So I still want this thing to be sudsy, so I'm going to get to it almost immediately so that I can spray it all over myself, just like they do the baseball players, the basketball players.
Yeah.
Celebration of a championship. I'm going to celebrate just like they do. All right, for a couple of minutes. So I'm ready to go, Boy Green. I'm ready to bathe in champagne. I'm going to pour it over my head. I'm going to spray it in my face, man. It's going to be fantastic. Knicks in 5.
So
get to 6. I picked them Knicks in 6. Knicks in 5.
Yeah, I picked them the Knicks in 7. So
although I did say once they won the first 2, this will not go more than 5. I did say that.
You did say that.
There you go. I said that, and I was right.
You did say that. So, folks, for those of you that want to see that, we'll put it out on all our social media. It'll be up specifically on our YouTube Shorts, so you will not be able to miss it. So, that video alert's about to record in the coming hours.
Got the goggles. Got the goggles.
Oh, wait, those are the same goggles, are they?
Yeah.
I thought you had like a colored one, like they were rainbow colored or something.
No, I don't know. No, this is the goggles. What rainbow ones are you talking about? What are you talking
pretty sure I'm gonna have to go back and see on a Lurch video. I felt like you had one that had like a rainbow color across it or something. Maybe
I don't know. Well, these are my current goggles. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I may have gotten different goggles over the years. You might be right.
Okay. Yeah, for it doesn't matter. But yeah, your snow one. I thought for your snow one, when you've done some of these YouTube shorts, let me see if I can find it.
I think these are the snow ones that I wore. These are I got these this year when I started snowblowing, and we had those massive snows this year, and I went out and got these. So it may just be because of whatever was reflecting off it outside. I mean, things are. These things are pretty cool, pretty reflecty, guys. So
sure, yeah.
I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to bathe in champagne. I want to thank every one of you that's a Knick fan out there, every one of you that isn't a Knick fan. All right. 53 years in the making. Got to enjoy it. Got to enjoy it. And if you can get down to the parade on Thursday, folks, go do it. Do it safely. Hopefully the New Yorkers will behave themselves. I did see some of the stupid stuff that was going on already.
Destroying buses and everything.
Although my son told me something very, very interesting because I told you he was in Manhattan that night.
Yes.
He said to me, I talked to him last night. I had a phone conversation with him last night. I was just asking him how it was and, were you safe and everything? I asked him where he was and so on and so forth. And he said to me that he walked past those buses. And what's been reported so far in those buses was that those buses were supposedly transporting World Cup people around. But
okay. I hadn't heard that part.
Yeah, that was like a story that I heard. I don't know whether there was any truth to that or not, but I heard that on some news report or something.
Okay.
My son said those buses, he walked down through that area where those buses were lit on fire prior to the game. And he was like, what are these buses doing in the middle of the street? So this is my son's theory and my son's theory alone. But I was just like, son, could you be right? He thinks, my son thinks, talk about conspiracy theories. He thinks those buses were put there purposely to draw, dare I say, the ne'er-do-wells to the buses, all right, so that they wouldn't damage storefronts and other things, and they would just literally attack these buses, which could have been, who knows, like old buses that were just like going to be sent to the graveyard anyway. This was his theory on this. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, man, there could be something to that. He's like, Dad, they were like parked in the middle of the street, like in the middle of a place where everybody was going to gather. He's like, they had no business being there. And yet the only explanation I've heard so far is that they were there because the World Cup people were being shuttled around. He's like, I'm not buying it. I think those buses were put in there as a plant.
A distraction? A decoy?
A distraction to get the ne'er-do-wells, the criminals essentially, to be drawn to the buses, rather than to be drawn to the windows in the storefronts, which obviously, costs store owners and so forth.
Of course. Right. Oh,
if there's any truth to that, that's brilliant. By the mayor or whoever came up with that idea. If indeed this was
that's nuts,
but I would say the city would probably never want to admit that, even if it was true, because now you can
openly inviting people to destroy things
again. Just put those buses back in those two areas, and then go after the buses. Let's get some really rundown buses. Let them have their fun. Just get the fire trucks nearby. I don't know, man. It sounds crazy, but could it be true? I don't know.
It's possible, and that's crazy. So shout out to Zay for that, hypothesis. But here's the thing I don't get. Here's the thing I just don't understand.
Okay.
Maybe it's just because we're normal people. oh, nice, the Jets have won the Super Bowl. All right, where's some things I could just damage and destroy my city? What? Why? And also, on a very serious note, who was it? It was Philadelphia. Someone, the Eagles win the Super Bowl. Someone attempted to climb up the poles, and it's greased up, and someone fell and died. Like, what are you people doing? You're going up to like 15, 20 feet in the air, and then you can fall. It's road and cinder block, for God's sake. So I don't understand the pole climbing.
I don't understand why people want to climb to begin with. Like, why do they want to climb?
For what?
What is it about the human race that certain individuals say, I need to climb a pole. I need to sit on top of the things, the things that can cross the street, tell you walk, don't walk. They
right.
Like they just
for
want to sit on
for 2
and
minutes?
climb on.
And you get down? Like,
so you could be above the people there for a minute? I don't get it. I don't get
stupid,
it. It is stupid, but the whole people that do that are stupid. That's the whole point, Boy Green. And unfortunately, the few can ruin it for the many and affect future parades and future opportunities, because most people just want to go out there, jump up and down, scream OG's name at the top of while he's coming by in the
couple
bus.
of random people.
Right. And just celebrate with fellow Knicks fans and hug some people and scream around some people that you never met before, but you have this bond of your team won the championship. But there just always are just bad seeds in every bunch, and you got to deal with it. And hopefully they're not the majority, or that the ones that are and those that police it can keep it under control and not let it interrupt. So anyway, seems like a minor scrape so far. I don't think anybody was hurt in the lighting the buses on fire incident, but certainly it doesn't paint a pretty picture for New Yorkers, that's for sure, and for New York Knicks fans, which is not the majority of us, by the way. Not at all.
Which again,
not at all.
The point of this is congratulations, Lurch, to your Knicks
Thank you, buddy.
drinking victory. The Knicks have
buddy.
won 53 years, and I will make no disparaging remarks about this being the only one they're going to get for the next 53 years or anything of that nature.
Bravo.
I will leave that to the people, but congrats.
You want the Celtics to get Giannis, by the way? You want Giannis on your team or no? A lot of rumors that they're chasing him.
It's funny. It goes back to, I don't know if you remember this conversation, but me, you, and Mark Rowlands were sitting in a studio at the radio station, and this conversation came up previously. But it wasn't for Giannis. It was Kevin Durant. Would you trade Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant in the middle of all the madness? And we debated about like the deficiencies of Jaylen Brown, but he's young and this and this. And I remember me and Mark going back and forth about it. And then like every time a thing has happened, ooh, what about this player, this player, this player? Mm-hmm. The Greek Freak, I don't know. Like Jaylen Brown was a finals MVP. So like without him, we don't win that championship. Now it's in the past.
Gotcha.
So I'm intrigued by I won't lie. If we got the Greek Freak, that'd be a lot of fun. But it'd be a very different team, as Sean has illustrated. Greek Freak is not joining our 3-point party. So it's interesting. Yeah, but come on, how would that not be fun getting the Greek Freak?
Yeah, it would be fun. It would be fun.
If he could stay healthy.
All right, I got champagne to pour all over my body. I'll put out a short, folks. If you're interested in seeing me douse myself in champagne and finally do the celebration that I wasn't able to do when I was at that Airbnb the other night, the moment it happened, well, you can go watch it on video. I'll have it out there in an hour or so. I'm going to go out, douse myself, enjoy it. Then I'll probably take a shower. I got golf later this afternoon.
There you go.
In the freezing cold. All right. Boy Green, thanks again. All of you folks, thanks for the generosity. Number One Austrian. I know Mac jumped in there. T-Town Jet. Thank you for your contributions to the channel. And again, you've added, moved the tote board a little heavier, so we appreciate it. So we've got you all there for the raffle tickets. We've got 1 week left to our raffle. So don't forget, you can support the channel that way and possibly win something, which is really awesome. So support us by becoming a member, gifting memberships, super chats, and super stickers among the ways. And you can use Venmo and PayPal if that's more convenient to you than just using the YouTube app. All right. You can use Venmo and PayPal. You just go to @MC Show Digital on either Venmo or PayPal, and you can send us the money directly, and we will put it towards the raffle. So you can do that during show, after the show, whenever you want. And that, again, will go to support the channel. So thanks to all of you for your generosity. Please tell your friends, your neighbors, your family to subscribe to our channel. We're closing in less than 60 subscribers to 1,000. We're trying to get to that number before our 1-year anniversary. We've only got a couple more weeks left before we reach it. So if you can help us get there, that would be awesome. That would be a goal that we set, 12 months ago to get to. If we could achieve that goal, it would be really special for both Paul and myself. We know we're going to get there anyway, but we'd love to get there on time, as they say, right? We're like a construction company, and we want to finish the job on time. So do appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for all the comments today, folks. We do appreciate it. Always appreciate your comments. And we'll see you live again on Wednesday. I know Paul's going to be out, but I will be here. Matt Lombardo will be with us Wednesday, so we'll be doing some NFL topicals on Wednesday's show as well. We'll have all the usual characters this week. Jake Asman will be with us this week again to talk all things Jets as we now Jets wrap up OTAs now.
So OTAs are over
yesterday. Right?
Mandatory? No.
Minicamp. I'm sorry. Yes. OTAs are over.
Minicamp. Yeah, minicamp
right
starts.
Now, right?
No, it starts tomorrow and then it ends on Thursday. So you will get Jake probably fresh in the middle of minicamp, 100%.
So fresh stuff on Jets minicamp. So I thought it's at the 14th. You're right. It's the 16th.
Yeah,
the Jets
16th to the 18th.
Giants already did minicamp last week. All right. So folks, we'll have some stuff on that. We'll have some juice on that as well. We'll probably wrap things up with Sean Devaney on Friday. I wish I had an extra bottle of champagne. I'd love to celebrate on the air when I was on with him. But he did come to our side, dare I say, at the end and said he thought the Knicks were going to win the series after they got up 2-0. So he did predict the Knicks were going to win, although he did say on the show on Friday that he thought it was going to come back to Madison Square Garden. I told him it's not. I was sitting in Boston. I said it is not going back to Madison Square Garden. It is Knicks in 5. There's no way the Spurs recover from that debacle in Game 4.
And they nearly did recover. They performed very well.
They were very good. The Spurs were tight in all of these games.
It was a close game, yeah.
What the Spurs didn't do, and they better figure it out, is they were just god awful in the most important moments of these 5 games, particularly 4 of them. Just awful in the most important moments, whether it be turnovers, poor shot selection, fouls, anything and everything. They did not execute down the stretch, and the Knicks did, and that's why the Knicks are NBA champions more than anything. They executed in the moments in these games that most matter, which is always at the end of games, and in particular the fourth quarter and the second half. And the Knicks did that time and time again. No lead was too great. We've already read all the numbers, read all the stuff. The Knicks were superb in that area. The Spurs were really, really poor. So that's something a young team can work on. They're a very young team. I think they got to get some more veteran guys on this team. They got to surround Wemby with some guys who have been there, done that. You can't just have these guys that have only done it once or never done it before this year, rolling into a final and trying to get it done against a team that had players that have played in NBA finals, that have, played in multiple playoff series with different teams all coming together. So I think that was the Knicks kind of special power. And I think it worked out pretty well for New York. All right, Boy Green, final thoughts if you have any. We'll say goodbye. You don't have any. You don't have to. It's all right. Celebrate, baby. Party like it's 1999. The Manchild will put that video out in just a little bit. Enjoy it, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you Wednesday. Peace out. Take care.